Chapter 771. Baya went to the pet shop to buy a kennel, and Alan carefully helped her choose. Baya looked at Alan's handsome side profile. He had a good temper. He knew what she wanted to do and always did what she wanted. However, since she had already agreed to go out with him, she shouldn't get involved with Black anymore. Black was injured because of us. It's dangerous for him to return to the ship. When he recovers, I'll give him a hint to leave. Alan smiled and turned to look at her. I trust you. We are both responsible for his injury. I'll take care of him with you. Alan, you know me the best in the world, Baya sighed. Alan smiled. You're going to the supermarket to buy some men's products, right? I saw that you don't have any men's products. Baya smiled. I think we don't need to talk anymore. We can communicate with just a look. Let's go to the supermarket now. Baya's phone rang. She saw that it was Jones and immediately picked it up. Baya, I think you need to come. These kids seem to be crazy. They insist that the people who died jumped into the sea on their own. But it's true that they're trying to kill me, Black, and my friend. Also, the law here doesn't allow the selfish installation of cannons on the ship. They fired at least 3 cannons at us. But they said that their boss told them to do it. When I asked who their boss was, they all said it was the governor. No matter what, we can't get them to talk. Come and take a look. This incident is causing a lot of commotion. It's not good for the governor's reputation. The families of these kids are here too. They're blocking the door and causing a lot of trouble, Joan said helplessly. I understand. I'll come to the police station now. Baya hung up and looked at Alan. Go. Leave the shopping to me. I'll take good care of your colleagues too, Alan said gently. Baya really felt that it was very easy to be with Alan. Although there was no feeling of love, she would not feel tired after being with him for a lifetime. Thanks. I'll leave the car to you. There are a lot of things. I can take a taxi there, Baya said and walked to the roadside. Call me when it's almost over. I'll pick you up. I'll be worried if you're alone at night, Alan said in a deep voice. After I'm done, the police will send me back. Don't worry, I'll go first. Be careful, Baya said. He got on the taxi and went to the police station. She glanced at the time in the car. It was almost 10 o'clock. She closed her eyes and leaned against the seat to rest for a while. Suddenly, the scene of Black holding her hand flashed across her mind. Her heart tightened, and she opened her eyes. For some reason, she thought of him. She took a deep breath and changed her train of thought. She had long heard that some cults were especially good at brainwashing. She wanted to see for herself. After a while, she arrived at the police station. There was a huge group of people at the entrance. There were 200 Special Forces officers blocking the entrance. Baya called Joan. I'm at the entrance, but there are a lot of people. I don't think I can get in. Is there a small door? Yes, go southwest. I'll get Shen to find you, Joan said. Baya hung up and went southwest. Shen ran out. Baya, this way. Follow me. I suggest that you manage these people separately. Otherwise, as long as one of them has a strong mind, he can affect everyone, Baya said. All right, but we don't have that many rooms to hold them, Shen said helplessly. I know. How many people have you arrested? Baya asked. 98. Baya nodded thoughtfully. Split them into 5 groups of 20. Send them to the interrogation room. Ha! Shen was shocked. But when he thought about Baya's ability, he was convinced. Baya went to the office. Joan was still there. She was frowning. When she saw Baya, she complained, there are too many people this time. Many of them are underage. Their parents are causing a ruckus outside. If we don't get answers today, many of them will be released tomorrow. Yeah, send them to the interrogation room in groups of 20. Give me all their information, Baya said. AI Wei just got all the information. We'll arrange it and give it to you, Shen said. The 20 people in white were sent to the interrogation room. Baya wanted to go in. Be careful. Let Howard and Rue go with you, Joan said. Okay, Baya replied. He walked into the interrogation room and glanced at everyone. They didn't even look at Baya. They were all arrogant. Their eyes were all on the sky. Baya chuckled and said, your parents and family are all outside. Who wants to be released now? As soon as he said that, the people in white's expression loosened. Just release them. No need to talk so much, one of the men said. Bai Ya's sharp gaze swept over. Lock him up alone. As one of the main culprits, he will be held responsible. Don't contact anyone else. The man was taken away. The people in white looked at each other. Some of them were terrified. Baya pulled out a chair and sat down. I'll ask again. Who wants to go back and reunite with their families now? All the people in white looked at each other and didn't say anything. One of the youths walked out. If we say we want to leave, can we leave? You can leave before midnight. Shen, put him in the resting room. Lock the others in another room. Let the other group in, Baya said. After the people in white left, she said to Shen, invite the parents of the young man to come in. Monitor everything that happens in the resting room. Let the young man out before midnight. Send 2 people to protect him secretly. Oh, okay. I'll go right away. The people in white entered in groups. Bai Ya's words were the same. Pick 1 or 2 people from each group and lock them up. Let 1 or 2 go home. When they were all done, it was already 11. Bai Ya, what should we do next? Shen asked. Let's go to the place where they're locked up, Bai Ya said. They entered the place where they were locked up. When the people in white saw someone coming, they immediately stood up and looked outside warily. Bai Ya went in and scanned the crowd. I still have 5 places. They can be released before dawn. Who wants to go out? The people in white looked at each other. Someone raised his hand. Me. One after another, people raised their hands. Bai Ya scanned. There were a total of 20 people who raised their hands. Bring those who raised their hands out. I'll talk to them alone. I'll choose 5 people to release, Bai Ya said. She turned around and walked towards the door. Rui followed behind Bai Ya and asked, why did you make such an arrangement? Chapter 772. If they are too firm or too weak, we won't get anything out of them. The best candidates are the 20 that were chosen this time. Among them, there will definitely be something that they want to say. Bai Ya looked at the time. Then, are you going to stay up all night? Shen asked. If Bai Ya stayed up all night, it meant that he had to stay up all night too. Not necessarily. If we're lucky, someone might give us the answer we need. Bai Ya smiled. She was very calm. She went to the office and not the interrogation room. She got someone to install a pinhole camera and played soft and soothing music. Call John and Smith in, Bai Ya said. The people in the surveillance room could hear it. After a while, a boy walked in and looked around anxiously. He saw that Bai Ya was alone and there were no other police officers. The environment was very relaxed. Don't ask me about the white cloth cult. I won't tell you anything, the boy said. Bai Ya smiled. The person who said that from the start was just trying to strengthen his resolve. If his resolve was firm enough, there was no need to strengthen it. Relax. You can choose what you want to say and what you don't want to say. Bai Ya smiled. John sat on the sofa and placed his hands on his knees. He lowered his head and his eyes were locked. Do you know what song I'm playing now? Bai Ya asked. Goodbye, Maria, John said immediately. It's very nice. After listening to it, I feel very calm. I saw your information and it said that you like this song a lot. I found it and it's really nice. John lowered his head again. Bai Ya sat opposite him. You play the piano really well. It's very difficult to get into your school. I heard that you relied on yourself. You're amazing. Did you learn the piano by yourself? No, I started playing the piano when I was 3 years old. When I was 3, let me think. I was still playing in the mud. Did you think that you would be locked up? Bai Ya asked. John's body trembled and he lowered his head in fear. If your school finds out about this, you might be expelled. John tightened his clothes and mumbled something that Bai Ya couldn't understand. Bai Ya smiled, turned around, made a cup of coffee, and handed it to him. John stopped nagging and looked at the coffee Bai Ya handed him. Drink some, you'll feel better. If you are released today, the case will not be filed. I can also guarantee that your school will not know about this matter. The decision will always be in your hands, Bai Ya said gently. I won't say anything, John repeated. Bai Ya held her right cheek and looked at Hardadef. You're happy in the white sect, right? Of course. Why? John was silent. Let me understand the white cloth sect. What can I do for you? Don't you want one more person to understand the white cloth sect? Baya said softly. He looked harmless. John looked at Baya. Baya slightly raised a smile. John clenched his fists and was furious. Have you ever been looked down upon? Have you ever been bullied or ostracized? Baya nodded. I was an orphan when I was young. I didn't have money to go to school. When others were having fun, I was working. I was often ostracized and looked down upon. The white cloth sect can help you, John said. How? They'll help you get back at those who bullied you. With the white cloth sect, I'll be strong. No one can bully me and no one will dare to look down on me. John pursed his lips and said hatefully. Then how do I join? Do you really want to join? You're already very powerful. No, you're trying to get information from me. John stood up nervously and added, I won't say anything. Chiu, you recommended me to the white cloth sect, right? Baya asked. John pursed his lips and didn't say anything. He raised his chin and looked at the sky. He looked like he was facing death calmly. Listen to this song first, Baya said gently. Baya said softly. She closed her eyes, leaned on the sofa, and gently tapped the wooden shelf next to the sofa with her fingers. Duck, duck, duck. John listened to the song and his expression loosened. He sat down on the sofa. I don't think John will say anything. Baya is wasting time on him. Someone else should come in and interrogate him, Howard said. The door was pushed open. Gu Lingqing came to the control room. She looked at Baya on the screen and said in a low voice, John has been hypnotized. This is Baya's best hypnosis? Rue stared at the screen and observed every expression on Baya's face. However, Baya just kept her eyes closed. How did she hypnotize him? After the song ended, it was played on a loop. Baya still didn't open her eyes. She said gently, John, this time, the white cloth sect killed people and used firearms illegally. They were caught red-handed. Do you think it's over? John looked at Baya in fear. I don't know. The white cloth sect is so strong. How? No matter how strong they are, how many of them are there? No matter how strong they are, isn't your leader locked up in jail? If the school finds out that you joined the white cloth sect, what do you think will happen? Baya asked and opened her eyes. Didn't you say that you were going to let me go? 20 of you wanted to leave. Only 5 of you can leave without a criminal record. I gave you the chance in advance. John, please tell me if the school finds out, what will happen? Baya's tone became strict. I will be expelled. Those that I beat up will beat me up too. Without the white cloth sect, I have nothing. John held his head. On the contrary, the white cloth sect made you lose everything. On the contrary, it was the white cloth sect that made you lose everything. You lost your confidence, you lost your sense of self. You asked me if I was ever looked down upon or bullied. Yes, but it doesn't matter. It will only make me stronger and stronger. One day, I won't be bullied anymore. As for you, besides being bullied by the people in school, you will also be bullied by the white cloth sect. Chobai is the best example. No, it's not like that. The white cloth sect is helping us not to be bullied. Chobai was only bullied by his adoptive mother. But now, he was forced to jump off the boat by the white cloth sect. Your friend died. Do you think that the white cloth sect is helping you? No, they just want you to die faster. They want you to become an even more evil demon than those who bullied you. They are harming you, harming your friends, harming people who could have been your friends. John hugged his head tightly and said guiltily, Chobai, I'm sorry. Tell me, John, who is your leader? How many things did he make you do to hurt others? I'm afraid that the white cloth sect will force me to my death like how they forced Chobai to his death, John said in a daze. Baya smiled. The white cloth sect is finished. From today onwards, there will be no more white cloth sect. John, do what you think you should do. You want to help Chobai. Chobai is looking at you from above. Yeah, I'll say. The control room was in an uproar again. Chapter 773. John said a lot. As long as it was a case that he was involved in, he would explain everything clearly. Their leader was called Lay Senator. He used to be a bank employee. Because he was bullied, he stopped the white cloth cult. Instead, he formed an evil force and bullied others. The owner of the ship was a man called Peter. Peter was the first person to follow Lay Senator Baya came out of the office. Baya, you're amazing. You found out who the mastermind was so quickly. With the information we have, we can counterattack, Shen praised. Not necessarily. Peter and Ray Sun shouldn't be the masterminds. They don't have the financial ability to buy a ship. There's an even more powerful force behind them. It's just that no one else knows about this force. Baya walked towards the surveillance room. Then what should we do? Shen became pessimistic again. Nothing. At least the white cloth cult can be disbanded. Lei Sun won't reveal who the mastermind is, so he has to take the blame. We can take it step by step, Baya said. She smiled and pushed open the door of the surveillance room. Baya, you're amazing. You solved the problem so quickly, Rue praised. The problem might not be solved, Baya said meaningfully. Baya said meaningfully and looked at Gu Lingqing. Why are you here? Shouldn't you be resting at home? It won't be good if the sadness in your body gets stained or cracks. Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply. He didn't answer her question. Are you going back? Baya nodded. She looked at the time. It was 11 p.m. She said to Shen, I'll go back first. Release those 20 people before 12 p.m. Okay, I got it. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing. Let's go. Okay. Gu Lingqing walked out. The two of them walked towards the road. They didn't speak. The streetlights gradually lengthened their shadows. Still they didn't speak. Baya took a deep breath and looked at him. I bought a kennel. Did you see it? Yes, Alan said that you're dating him, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Baya replied. A crack appeared in Gu Lingqing's eyes. She clenched her fists tightly, and her breathing felt cold. She stopped and looked at her. Baya turned to look at him. What's the matter? Gu Lingqing looked at her faintly, as if he was trying hard to remember her appearance. Many memories flowed through his mind. He had once lost his memory and forgotten about her. Now, he could understand her feelings at that time. Despair, sadness and pain, but he couldn't say it out loud. He could only let the pain gnaw at his heart until it devoured everything little by little. When she was with him, she was less happy than sad, and more dangerous than safe. She had been wasting time, exhausting herself, and enduring loneliness. Now, she had completely forgotten about him. She could start a new life, stand at the peak of being worshipped by others, enjoy honor, life, and love. She should be able to be happy with Alan. He was jealous, envious, and jealous to the point that he was about to go crazy. However, he loved her, and he hoped that she could be happy. If she could be happy, what was there for him to be conflicted about? The fog filled his eyes, gathering together and disappearing in the depths of his eyes. Baya looked at his eyes and felt a little pain in her heart. I knew you in the past, right? Xiaoya, I wish you happiness, and I hope that you will be happy too, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Hearing this, she should have smiled, but her heart hurt even more, as if a crack had been torn in her heart, and blood was gushing out. The taxi stopped in front of them. Gu Lingqing opened the door of the back seat. Baya sat in the front passenger seat. He sat in the front passenger seat, looked ahead, and said in a low voice, I'll borrow your place for a day today, and I'll move out tomorrow. I have people taking care of me. Don't worry. Baya didn't say anything. She still felt heartache, and the pain was sour, as if her heart was poisoned. You don't have to rush to move out. You and Alan are already dating. It's not suitable for me to stay at your place. It's just a small injury, and I'll be fine in 2 days. Besides, Alan has severe asthma, and it's not suitable for Xiaobai to stay there. You don't have to feel guilty about my injury. If I didn't jump into the sea and meddle in other people's business, I wouldn't have provoked the white cloth cult. Everything was caused by me, and it has nothing to do with you. I'm sorry for disappointing you, Gu Lingqing said. Baya's eyes were red. She was very sad, very sad, very sad, as if someone was hiding in her heart and crying. You haven't answered me. Did we know each other in the past? Baya continued to ask. We knew each other, but since you've already forgotten me, I think this is what you want to forget, so you don't have to remember it again, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. His eyes were very deep as a serene lake, filled with sadness and despair. She had an urge to cry, but she knew that she shouldn't. She didn't say anything else and looked out of the window. After a while, she arrived at the villa. Alan was there, and he might be allergic to smoke. She didn't light any incense because it was too late, and she didn't play any music either. She went straight to the bathroom and turned on the water. She stood by the sink in a daze, listening to the sound of the water. She still felt uncomfortable. She took off her clothes and went into the water. She lay on the surface of the pool and closed her eyes. Black's words echoed in her mind. Since you've already forgotten one coup, I think this is what you want to forget, so you don't have to remember it again. She sighed and made a call. Senior, I'm not feeling well. What's wrong? Su Chongha asked with concern. I met someone. He said that I knew him before, but I feel sad when I see him. Gu Lingqing. Su Chongha blurted out. Baiya was stunned. She remembered that Alan said that Black's name was Gu Lingqing. So they all knew Black. What's the relationship between Gu Lingqing and me? Baiya asked. Baiya, are you sure you want to know? Back then, you hypnotized yourself to forget him. Are you sure you want to remember him? Su Chongha asked in a low voice. Baiya shuddered. She didn't dare to. Just thinking about this name made her feel extremely sad. That kind of sadness seemed to cover the sky and drown her. Before she hypnotized herself, she had warned her not to open the window to her memory. She was afraid that once she remembered everything, she wouldn't be able to bear the burden and would rather die. No, I don't want to know anymore. Baiya said decisively. Su Chongha sighed. You once said that you want to forget the past and start a happy life again. What you need to do now is not to remember the past, but to work hard to find a happy life now. I've already promised to be with Alan, Baiya said in a low voice. Su Chongha. Chapter 774. Baiya hung up the phone. Happiness? What was happiness? Some people said that happiness was having everything you wanted. Some people said that it was kinship, love, friendship, career, money, and status. She thought that it was idealistic perfection. If having everything was happiness, then most people were unlucky. She didn't think so. She felt that happiness was a feeling of self. People with low levels of satisfaction were more likely to be happy. For example, some people felt that the world was happy just because they had meat for every meal. Some people felt that they were unhappy even though they had meat for every meal. Some people felt that the world was beautiful if they could get a hug from their lover. Some people felt that life was meaningless even if their lover was always by their side. What was her happiness? Actually, she didn't need anyone to take care of her or help her. She was used to living alone. When she was with Alan, she needed to accommodate and change her habits. She needed to avoid things that he couldn't touch. She needed to be restrained and not be able to live as she pleased. She didn't feel happy. When she was with Alan, she just didn't want him to be unlucky. She could accept living with him for the rest of her life. Baiya lay in the bathtub for half an hour. Her whole body was lazy. She stood up and dried herself. She was about to put on her clothes when she saw that the rack was empty. She paused. Before she took a bath, she was in a daze and forgot to take a change of clothes. There were other men staying here. She couldn't walk around naked. She took a towel, wrapped it around her and walked out. Gu Lingqing was pouring water. He looked back at her with a deep gaze. Every time they met, he wanted to look at her one more time. No matter how long he looked at her, he wouldn't get tired of it. Perhaps the next time they parted, it would be forever. When Baiya saw him, she felt a little awkward. I forgot to take my clothes. Yeah, Gu Lingqing replied solemnly. To prevent her from feeling awkward, he turned around and went into his room. Baiya went upstairs and returned to her room. She was not in a hurry to change her clothes. She lay on the bed with a heavy heart. She got up and went to the cupboard to get some clothes. After changing, she lay on the bed again. She was so tired today that she didn't light any incense. She closed her eyes and soon fell asleep. In the haze, she came to an isolated island and saw a man sitting on a reef that was only 1 square meter in size. He looked at her deeply, not saying a word, but there seemed to be thousands of words in his eyes. She slowly walked towards him and saw Gu Lingqing's face. It's you. He still didn't speak. He just looked at her, his eyes gentle. Why aren't you talking? Baya asked again. He still did not speak. What are you trying to say? If you don't say it, how will I know? Baya frowned. Take care. Gu Lingqing said these two words. Baya's heart sank, and he opened his eyes. So it was a dream. Why did she dream of him? She got up, brushed her teeth, and after washing up, she opened the door and smelled the fragrance of eggs. She walked towards the kitchen instinctively. Alan was busy inside. When he saw Baya, he smiled and said, I made egg-fried noodles. Try it. Why are you up so early? Baya smiled and said, 8 o'clock. It's not early anymore. Alan said, oh right, Black left with Xiao by early in the morning. He said thank you for taking care of him and the kennel. He left. Baya murmured. Yeah, when I got up, he was already up. Seeing that you were still sleeping, he asked me to tell you to wait at the dining table. I'll make a glass of milk, Alan said brightly. Baya sat at the dining table in a daze. When she sat down, she remembered that she should have watered the plants in the morning. She got up again and went to the garden to water the plants. When she was watering the plants, she felt that there was something she did not do. After thinking about it, she thought that it might be because she did not make breakfast, so she felt that there was something she did not do. After watering the plants, she went back to her room. Alan stood at the door and looked at her with a smile. Tired. Baya shook her head. I'm tired from this. Do you think I'm an old lady who's almost 100 years old? Wash your hands and have breakfast. Alan turned around and went to the kitchen. The noodles he made were already cold. It was just right for summer. Baya ate the noodles quietly. Alan looked at her solemnly. She looked up at Alan and smiled. What's wrong? Are you coming back for lunch? Alan asked gently. Baya nodded. I should be back. I've arranged for patients in the morning and afternoon, but there's still plenty of time. I can accompany you around and see if there's a shop you want. That's not urgent. I'm not as tired as you are. I'll just rest at home like you usually do. Also, I saw some incense. If you like it, you can still light it. Don't change your habits because of me. I'll try my best to adapt to your habits. Baya was very touched. Alan, when two people are together, it's about protecting and accommodating each other. It doesn't matter. Habits can be changed and become another habit. She held his hand. I'll go to work in a while. I'll leave this place to you. All right. I'll open a shop, Alan said with a smile. After Baya finished her breakfast, she left everything to Alan. She drove to the office. When she arrived at the office, the assistant came over with a notebook. Baya, I've received 120 calls these few days. I can't do anything else but take calls. What should I do? These patients, do you want to see them? Baya looked at the notebook and thought of something. She asked the assistant, did someone called Black call? Black, let me see. I think so. The assistant looked at the notebook. I found him. There's this person. Why? Do you want to see this patient? Baya took the notebook and looked at the person's caller ID. She dialed the number. Hello. Gu Lingqing's voice came from the other end of the phone. I'm Baya, said Baya. Baya said, taking a deep breath. You came to consult about the medical treatment last time. I'm free at 16 p.m. Do you want to come? Gu Lingqing was silent on the other end. Baya did not hang up the phone. Didn't you say that you don't want to see me? Gu Lingqing asked in a low voice. I wasn't familiar with you at that time. Now that we've gone through life and death together, our feelings are naturally different. For the sake of our relationship, I should let you see him, Baya said with a smile. Xiaoya, shouted Gu Lingqing. When the two words Xiaoya came out of his mouth, her heart skipped 2 beats. See you in the afternoon, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice and hung up the phone. See you in the afternoon, Baya murmured as she looked at the air. If she took good care of Gu Lingqing, she would not feel that she owed him. Chapter 775. After seeing all the patients in the morning, Baya went back for lunch at noon. Alan had prepared the dishes. Cola chicken wings, steak, fish soup, tofu, tomato eggs, and lettuce. Did you cook all these? Baya was curious. Is it strange? I have nothing to do in the morning anyway. When you come back, I can have lunch immediately, Alan said with a smile. Looking at the dishes on the table. I'm hungry. Have a try. Baya pinched a chicken wing with her hand and took a bite. Well, it's delicious. Go wash your hands first. Yes. Baya finished the chicken wing in a few bites. She went to wash her hands and came out. Alan came over with 2 bowls of white rice. I wanted to roast the pig's feet, but I'm afraid it won't taste good. I've never cooked such a main dish before. Baya smiled. When I'm free, I'll teach you all my specialties. You can open a restaurant and be a chef. I only want to be your chef. Alan picked up the meat from the fish belly and gave it to Baya. Baya didn't respond to him and continued eating. How was the work in the morning? Alan asked. It was very smooth. This patient has OCD. After seeing him a few times, he's much better. So, you don't have to come next week. After all, my fees aren't low, Baya said with a smile. My girlfriend is so capable. I'll wake up laughing even in my dreams. I have an additional patient in the afternoon, so I won't come back early, Baya said. Then, will you come back for dinner tonight? Alan asked. Of course. No matter how tired I am outside, when I come back for dinner, I feel that all my worries are gone. Moreover, it's the prince in the fairy tale who cooks for me, Baya joked. Yes, I want to drag you into the fairy tale world to live with me. The last sentence in the fairy tale world is that from now on, the prince and the princess will live happily ever after. Hee. Baya also laughed. It was so comfortable to chat with Alan. I'm free at noon. Shall we go for a walk after lunch? Sure, if you're not afraid of getting tanned. Hee. Baya's smile became even brighter. One of the benefits of living in America is that no matter how dark you get from the sun, no one will think that you're black. No matter how white you paint, no one will say that you're white. This is because there are white people and black people. Can I say that your joke is very cold? Alan said bluntly. Then tell me which one isn't cold? Baya picked up a piece of fish and put it on his bowl. She likes fish. Once upon a time, 2 white people gave birth to a black child. Do you know why? Alan asked. Our ancestors are genetically black. Can I say that your joke is even colder? Baya hit him without holding back. It's because the baby didn't bathe. Baya. Alan smiled and rubbed Baya's head lovingly. If I don't say something colder, how can I spend the summer with you? Baya smiled. Don't worry, my house has air conditioning. Let's eat, we'll go out later. Yes. After dinner. Alan and Baya went shopping. Alan held a black umbrella to shield her from the sun. Her phone rang. She saw it was Joan and sighed. I have a feeling that I don't want to do this anymore. Don't do it if you don't want to. Are you afraid that I can't afford you? Alan said. She was just saying it. She did not do it for money. She picked up the phone. Baya, can you come to the police station? Joan asked. What's wrong? Or is it about the white dress sect? Baya asked. No, the white dress sect is basically solved. It's about the corpse in the cage. We've got the latest data, Joan said in a deep voice. The mission here is more than I expected. I don't even have time to breathe, Baya said directly. I'm sorry. After this case is solved, I'll let you rest for a week, Joan said gently. I understand. I'll come to the police station now, but I have 2 patients in the afternoon, so I'll have to leave before 14. Sure. Baya hung up and looked at Alan. It's fine. Go ahead. We'll talk later, Alan said in a good mood. Okay, I'll go to the police station now. See you tonight. Don't cook tonight. Let's eat out, Baya said. Alan nodded. The police station when Baya arrived, the others were already there. She looked at Gu Lingqing's face. Gu Lingqing did not look at her. He lowered his head and seemed to be in deep thought. You're all here. Shin, tell me in detail. What happened? Joan asked. We checked the last 3 corpses. Strangely, we couldn't find the identities of these 3 people. Ivy hacked into other countries and didn't find these 3 people. In other words, these 3 people don't have any identity information. This doesn't make sense, Shin said. What's the cause of death? Baya asked. They drowned. They took sleeping pills before they died. After falling asleep, they were locked in cages and sealed. Then they were put in a fixed position and died, Shin said. Their ages? Are the three of them related by blood? Baya continued to ask. They were about the same age, between 16 and 20. They weren't related by blood. A bunch of people died. They didn't have any identities. Even if they were stowaways, they would have information about their identities. Why did they die? Why did they die so regularly? Who did it? What was their purpose? Was it to satisfy their desire to kill? Rue pondered. Baya narrowed her eyes and asked thoughtfully, are there any other clues? Male or female? Did they have pierced ears? Are there any special marks on their bodies? Are there any special marks on their clothes? Are there any old wounds on their bodies? I'll send you the detailed information. Shin sent each of them a document, including the forensic doctor's explanation. These people didn't have jewelry on them, and they had many old wounds. Nobody called the police when they died, and nobody identified them. They didn't even have IDs. If I'm not wrong, they were kidnapped when they were young and locked up on an island. They were trained for a long time, and they died because they weren't as good as the organization, Baya guessed. Gu Lingqing looked at Baya. I think that's reasonable. What should we do next? Shen asked. Don't send the pictures yet. If they know, it'll be harder for us to catch them. Let's compare all the missing children's cases and find out the identities of the 3 victims. Also, they could have just sunk the bodies anywhere. Why did they have to put them in one place? I suggest we use satellites to follow them closely. Maybe we'll find their nest soon, Baya suggested. That makes sense. Let's do that first. Rue, write me a document. I'll apply for satellite support, Jones said. Chapter 776. Baya and Lei Senator, we need you to interrogate Lei Sen, Cheong said. Baya smiled. As for Lei Sin, just let Rue interrogate him. He'll take full responsibility. But we feel that Lei Sen doesn't have the financial ability to buy a ship. So there must be someone else behind the White Cloth sect, Rue said. Even if there is someone else, Lei Sen won't say anything. He has a strong will. He'll say it's the director or the governor. It's just a waste of time, Baya said. You haven't seen him yet. How do you know? Shen asked. Baya sighed. You'll know after you interrogate him. I really can't do anything to him. Are you going to let the mastermind get away with it? Rue said angrily. Baya was very calm. There are many unfair things in this world. The more capable you are, the higher your salary. The more capable you are, the more money you earn. You can't get whatever you want just because you're good at everything. We've already found Lei Sen, solved the crisis, and disbanded the White Cloth sect. This is already a great reward. If you ask for more, things will go in the opposite direction. After Baya said a few words, Rue's originally angry face also calmed down. Indeed, this was how the world was. You couldn't just do whatever you wanted. Baya turned and walked out. Gu Lingqing thought for a moment and followed behind her. I didn't drive here. Can I take your car to my clinic? Baya said politely. Gu Lingqing looked at her peaceful face and nodded. Baya smiled brightly. Thank you. Gu Lingqing didn't say anything and walked towards his car. Baya got into his car and fastened the safety rope on herself. She asked, Where are you and Xiaobai going? Are you going back to the ship? I rented a house, Gu Lingqing said calmly. She looked ahead and didn't want to talk anymore. Baya didn't say anything either. She closed her eyes and rested. Gu Lingqing looked at her, his eyes dark. Then, he drove to the basement of the clinic. The car stopped and Baya opened her eyes. She took a nap and felt much better. She looked at the time. It was only 13:30. I have an appointment with a patient at 15. I think you can get in front of that patient, Baya said gently. Gu Lingqing replied and got out of the car. He followed Baya into Baya's office. Baya gave him a glass of water. He guessed that the water was drugged, so he raised his glass and drank all the water. Baya smiled and turned on some soft music. Sit on the sofa. It's more comfortable. You can lie down on it. Gu Lingqing lay down on the sofa and looked at the white ceiling. His eyes were filled with obscurity. What do you think is wrong with you? Why do you need to see a psychiatrist? Baya asked. Gu Lingqing sat up and looked at her. Do you think you're living a happy life now? Baya was stunned. She nodded and smiled. I'm fine. I can watch the leaves fall in the garden and the clouds roll by. I don't have any pressure from work or life. I have good interpersonal relationships. I should be considered a happy person. That's good, Baya. Gu Lingqing took a deep breath and made up her mind. She said, help me hypnotize me too. Let me forget everything I want to forget. Mission, feelings, and from now on, I can watch the leaves fall in the garden and the clouds roll by. She didn't know why, but she felt a tight feeling in her heart. Hypnosis requires you to cooperate with your subconscious. I will enter your subconscious, but you have to close the window of your memory. The success rate is only 5%. Can the success rate be increased through continuous hypnosis? Gu Lingqing asked. Yes, but it can only be increased to 10%. You need to have a strong will to forget. There are many uncertain factors, Baya reminded. Gu Lingqing raised the corner of her mouth and looked at Baya deeply. So, she had such a strong will to forget him. He didn't need to pester her anymore. Forget it all. Okay, Gu Lingqing replied. What's the name of the person you want to forget? Baya asked. Baya, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. Baya's heart skipped a beat. There was a very strange feeling, so much so that she was in a trance for a moment. I want to forget all the memories about you. Nothing is left, Gu Lingqing continued. There's a problem. In your memories, there might be people who are related to you, such as your parents and friends. If you don't want to remember the past, it's best not to meet these people. Can you do that? Baya reminded. Gu Lingqing looked down. I have 2 children with her. I want to keep the children by my side. Look, can you create a message in my memory to let me believe that the children's mother has passed away? Baya's breathing quickened. There are children between the 2 of you? Gu Lingqing smiled faintly. There's gain and loss. There's gain and there's loss. These are your favorite words. Baya's heart was uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable. It was as if a huge rock was suddenly pressing on her. Her emotions were a little dazed. If the person you want to hypnotize is me, it's not suitable for me to help you. It's equivalent to reminding you from time to time. This way, the success rate of hypnosis will be lower. My senior is coming to America soon. He should be able to help you. When he comes, I'll ask him to hypnotize you. Is that okay? Okay. Gu Lingqing stood up and walked towards the door. She didn't even look at her. Her cold expression disappeared. Baya seemed to have lost her strength. She sat on the chair. She and Gu Lingqing actually had a child. She didn't understand. She had compassion for other people's children. Why was she so cruel to her own child? She didn't understand. She picked up her phone and dialed Su Chongha's number. Su Chongha was woken up by the noise. Baya, do you know what time it is here? I'm sorry. I have something to ask you, Baya said. Wait, I'll go wash my face and wake up, Su Chongha said. Baya didn't hang up. She heard the sound of water on Su Chongha's side. It was the sound of the toilet flushing. She waited and didn't hang up. Su Chongha was done. Say it. Do you know why I hypnotized myself? Baya asked. You still can't let it go? I want to know the reason, Baya said. Su Chongha sighed. Actually, I don't know either. One day, you came to me and said that you wanted to forget about Gu Lingqing and start a new life. You looked very determined at that time. After the hypnosis, you went to America alone. I have a child with Gu Lingqing. Baya asked again. Chapter 777. Before you hypnotized him, your husband had already been dead for 1.5 years, Su Chongha said. Baya frowned. What do you mean by that? Gu Lingqing was shot in the back of his head. There was even a funeral. After that you disappeared. When you came back, you asked me to hypnotize you. However, after you went back to America, there were rumors saying that Gu Lingqing wasn't actually dead. You know your personality. You don't want others to know about you, so I don't know much, Su Chongha explained. You mean that I couldn't stand Gu Lingqing's death, so I hypnotized myself? Baya frowned suspiciously. That's what I suspect. Your husband's death was a huge blow to you. Because of Gu Lingqing's death, you were once in the political arena of country A. The former president Shen Yan was your friend, and the later president Xing Buhua was your husband's brother. You became a legend in the political arena. You fought against Shang Dongqing and defeated Li Chun. These two people were two of the big three, and the other one was your husband, Gu Lingqing. Baya looked ahead absent-mindedly. I don't remember any of these. You must have blocked all possible information about Gu Lingqing to prevent yourself from thinking about him. Do you remember Su Jieran? Su Jieran? Baya thought for a while. I don't remember. Who is he? Your ex-husband, Baya. You're really cruel. In order to forget Gu Lingqing, you forgot everyone related to him. Your memory only retained the memory of the time when he wasn't around. Su Changhe sighed. Gu Lingqing came to find me, Baya said. As long as he's alive, he'll definitely find you. After all, you're his wife and you have 2 children. He said that I can't help him if he wants to erase my memory, so he needs your help, Baya said calmly. Do you really want me to hypnotize his memory? If he forgets you too, it'll be impossible for you two to be together. What about your child? Su Changhe was worried. Ever since he had a child, he'd missed his child a lot. Gu Lingqing said that he'll take it with him. He'll just hypnotize his subconscious and make him think that the child's mother is dead, Baya said. Her heart was inexplicably twisted. Then he's better than you. You gave up everything to forget him, including responsibility. I will go back to America next week. At that time, I will give it a try. You know, my hypnosis is far worse than yours. Most of your hypnosis is because you hypnotize yourself, Su Changhe said gloomily. Baya hung up and recalled what Su said. She shouldn't be such an irresponsible person. Why would she hypnotize herself? Her head hurt a little. She lay on the sofa and closed her eyes. She didn't think about anything and just wanted to have a good rest. The phone rang. She opened her eyes, got up, walked to the table and picked up the landline. Dr. Bai, Mr. Harry is here. The assistant called. Well, let him come in 5 minutes. Baya opened the window and let the fresh air in, blowing away the smell left by others. Suddenly, she thought of Gu Lingqing again. Her heart felt sour and bitter, and she didn't feel very comfortable. Many people are arrogant and never bow their heads. Dignity is above everything. As long as the other party says to break up, no matter how painful it is, they will pretend to agree indifferently. No matter whether the other party says that breaking up is just a test, they have missed the most suitable one. A person's heart could not withstand testing, and feelings could not withstand waiting. Love had always been instantaneous, like a flash in the pan. What was more long-term was the management of feelings, the sacrifice of protection, tolerance and wherein. Living together for a lifetime until they were old was already the longest confession. She and Alan skipped love. There was only the management of feelings. She was confident that she could manage it well. Why didn't she manage it well with Gu Lingqing? Was it because she loved him too much? There was a knock on the door. Baya came to her senses and found that her face was wet. She was not a person who liked to cry. Her heart was not as soft as ordinary people. Why would she cry? She took a tissue and wiped her tears. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath to ease her emotions. Then she said, "Come in." A beautiful Asian girl walked in. Her face was pale and her eyes were full of sadness. At a glance, she could feel her sadness and decadence. "It seems that you are not better," Baya said softly. The girl's tears flowed down instantly. "I know my parents are worried about me, but I really can't let it go. He is going to marry another woman soon. I would rather die in front of him. I want him to remember me for the rest of his life." Baya habitually poured a glass of water for the patient and placed it in front of the girl. "What do you think you will get after you die? Do you really think he will remember you? Or will he always love you? If you die, you won't see anything. If you don't see him change his mind, if you don't see your happiness, if you don't see everything you want, you will leave with resentment. But my heart hurts. I can't sleep every night. I can't breathe when I think of him. I want to go and ask him why he married someone else," the girl said anxiously. "Then go and ask him?" He turned off his phone and went abroad with that girl. I couldn't find him no matter how hard I tried. Even if I killed myself, he didn't come back to see me. The girl was sad. Everything you did was to make him stay. But if you don't cherish yourself, others won't cherish you either. Your actions will only become something he can brag about in the future. There was a girl who committed suicide for him. If he had even the slightest bit of love for you, he would have appeared when you committed suicide, but he didn't. Perhaps he turned off his phone and traveled abroad with that girl to avoid you. In other words, your actions annoyed him, and he would only hate you. Even if you committed suicide in front of him, he would only loathe and hate you. It's better than him forgetting me. I want him to remember me and hate me. This hatred and disgust will disappear when you die. Are you sure you want to choose death? Baya asked again. The girl didn't say anything. Her tears flowed down. If you want to get him back, you have to become a better version of yourself. Every day you have to work hard to become better. Don't let yourself become worse and worse. That will only make him leave you. If you want to take revenge on him, find a better man and live a happier life. Anything else won't do you any good. It will only make you feel inferior, insignificant, despicable, and lowly, Baya said sharply. The girl looked at Baya with red eyes. Have you ever loved someone? Do you know what it feels like to love someone? Do you know what it feels like to be abandoned? Baya looked at the girl's uneasy expression and smiled. I loved someone before. I loved him so much that I hypnotized myself and completely forgot about him. Chapter 778. The girl was shocked. You've completely forgotten about him? Why? Baya smiled. I don't remember. The girl was stunned again. She looked at Baya quietly. Baya also looked back at her quietly. If I want to forget him, how much would it cost? The girl asked with hope. I won't charge you. But it's not easy to hypnotize someone. The success rate is only 5%. I want to try. I'm in too much pain now. I don't want to remember him anymore. I want to start a new life, the girl said emotionally. You need to discuss it with your parents. Come and find me after that, Baya said. The girl immediately rushed out of the treatment room. Baya picked up a glass of water and poured herself a glass. She was in a daze today. She was not in the mood to see the patient. She called Su Changhe again. Su Changhe picked up the phone. He had already woken up, so he was very calm. You want to ask about Gu Lingqing again, right? Did he hurt me? Did he have another woman? Baya asked. His personality is very cold. He doesn't like to talk. No woman can get close to him. So, your hypothesis is impossible. Baya, do you want to recover your memory now? Su Changhe asked. Baya's heart beat faster. I don't know. You have to know that indecisiveness will increase your mental stress. Insomnia, distress, discomfort. Over time your mind will collapse. The longer you delay, the more stress you will feel. Think carefully. You know what to do to recover your memory, Su Changhe warned her. Baya knew that what he said was right. However, sometimes the rational mind was clear, but the actions were involuntary. I understand. Thank you, Senior. Baya hung up the phone and went home early. Alan was not at home. She went back to her room, lit some incense, and played some beautiful music. Lying on the bed, she closed her eyes, and was quiet. When she thought of Gu Lingqing's gaze, her heart ached faintly, and she opened her eyes again. Just what was it that caused her heart to ache so much? Whenever she thought of this person, she would feel sorrow. If she hadn't been so badly hurt, she wouldn't have tried to hypnotize herself. Now, Gu Lingqing also decided to be hypnotized. From then on, they would erase each other's memories and start anew. But why did her heart hurt so much? It hurt so much that tears kept flowing out. It shouldn't be like this, it shouldn't be like this. There was a knock on the door. Xiaoya, you're back? Alan's voice came from outside. Baya wiped her tears. I'm here. I've lit some incense. Don't come in. She got up and went to the bathroom to wash her face. She saw her phone's red eyes in the mirror and closed them for a while. When the blood vessels disappeared, she opened the door. I went out to buy some fruits. As soon as I entered, I heard the music in your room. You're back so early, Alan said with a smile. One of my patients had some matters to attend to today, so he left early. I'm going out to buy some flowers to plant. You can rest at home for a while. We'll go out for dinner tonight, Baya said with a smile. She wasn't the kind of person who liked to show sadness on her face. Alan hugged Baya's waist and pulled her in front of him. He looked down at her and said in a reserved manner, Xiaoya, can we stay together tonight? Baya's body stiffened, and her back straightened. She had never thought about this question. Her eyes were filled with panic. She was an adult. As Alan's girlfriend, it was normal for them to have a relationship. However, she didn't want to, or even think about, having a relationship between them. Alan. Baya called his name and looked up at him. Alan pursed his lips and didn't respond to her, but his eyes turned cold. He could tell that she didn't want to, but he wanted to force her. Only when she was willing and had sex could their relationship be stable. Isn't it too soon? Baya said and pulled her hand away. How could it be? We've known each other for more than 2 years. I don't think it's too soon. In fact, I've been waiting for a long time. Whether I want to have a relationship with you or you want to never have a relationship with me for the rest of your life, I have normal needs. Not to mention it's for the woman I love, Alan said in a deep voice. Alan, I'm sorry. I thought that with our personalities, we could live happily for the rest of our lives. But I'm afraid I can't even do the most basic thing. You can't do it because you don't like me, or because you still have hope for him in your heart? Alan asked. I don't want to, Baya said. Every time she thought of having that kind of relationship with Alan, all the cells in her body were resisting. I don't want to go against my will. You and I might never have that kind of relationship, so I'm not suitable for you. What if Gu Lingqing wants to have a relationship with you? Do you want to or not? I don't want to answer such a hypothetical question. You still haven't forgotten him. You still have hope for him. You still love him. Xiaoya, if you still love him, then go find him. Don't wrong yourself, don't suppress yourself. Even if you're destroyed, you have to burn brightly. I'm willing to return to being a good friend, Alan said with a smile. Baya's eyes turned red. Alan. Alan smiled. I think after this, I can completely give up on you. You don't want to have a relationship with me because you have someone else in your heart, and that person is Gu Lingqing. How much do you know about me and him? Baya was confused. She didn't know if what Alan said was true or not, but she was sure that she didn't even want to have a relationship with Alan, let alone others. She would probably always be alone. I don't know much. When I met you, you were already his wife. At that time, when he was chasing you, you only had him in your heart. After he died, you still only had him in your heart. I knew that you had hypnotized yourself. I thought I had a chance, but it seems like you still only have him in your heart. Xiaoya, don't torture yourself. Go find him, Alan said generously and smiled. Thank you, Alan. No matter what, you're always thinking about me. Alan said, I like you because of your infatuation. If I have to blame something, I can only blame myself for knowing you too late. If I still have a life, I must meet you again, and before Gu Lingqing finds you. Don't let this life go to waste. There are many good women in this world. You will definitely find one, Baya said sincerely. Yeah, I'll leave tomorrow morning. In the future, I'll try my best to find my happiness. You and Gu Lingqing must live well. Don't let me down today. We both have to live well. Alan laughed. Of course we have to live well. If you really die of anger because of Gu Lingqing one day, you'll come looking for me. I won't come looking for you. Don't hold on to that hope. It's impossible, Baya said resolutely. She really hoped that he could find his happiness. Yeah, Alan replied. He took a deep breath. I feel good being friends again. Chapter 779. Baya felt much better. She and Alan were still suitable to be friends. They were unrestrained, free to come and go, to protect each other and be friends for life. She did not agree to be with him and was too embarrassed to ask him to stay. England was his world. Rest for a while. I'll go out and buy some flowers. Alan smiled. It's the last meal. I want to eat what you cook. How can it be the last meal? You can come any time. I welcome you any time. If you bring your wife and children, I welcome you too. You know, you are more than a friend to me, Baya said seriously. Alan smiled. Then I'll try my best to bring my beloved daughter here for dinner next year. Then I'll learn how to cook for my wife. Okay. I'll go buy some vegetables now. Baya took the car keys and went out. She turned on 2 streetlights and waited for the red light. She heard the screams of the people outside and looked out the window. There was a girl standing on the roof. Her head was hanging down and only her long hair could be seen. She looked at the time with her arms crossed and jumped down before the ambulance arrived. It was the 17th floor. Jumping from the top floor would mean certain death. Moreover, the girl did not hesitate. She only stood for a short minute. Even if someone called the police would not be able to arrive in time. So, she came with the determination to die. Beep, beep, beep. The car behind urged. Baya saw that the light was green. She drove away. After all, she could do nothing if someone died. She did not like to watch the commotion. Soon, she arrived at the market. Perhaps because she came too early, there were not many farmers there. She went to the farm and bought a turkey. She asked the boss to take care of it for her. The farm boss planted a lot of vegetables and asked her to pick them herself. She picked a big bag of tomatoes. She liked the feeling of freshness when they were freshly picked. She also picked a big winter melon, some cucumbers, some mushrooms, and some green vegetables. When she rushed back, it was only past 16 in the afternoon. There was enough time to cook. Alan came in to help her wash the vegetables. She went to the yard to catch a fish. Time was peaceful, and cooking a meal was also a very happy thing. Watching raw and cold ingredients turn into steaming hot delicious food was also a very happy thing. When everything was done, it was already 6 p.m. Baya opened a bottle of red wine and poured it for Alan. He swirled the wine glass. Are you going to see Gu Lingqing? Baya shook his head. You know my personality. I'm very passive. Alan laughed. You're not being passive. You're being stubborn. Baya smiled bitterly, took a sip, and looked at the red liquid. Actually, I believe in fate. If it's meant to be, it will be. If it's not meant to be, don't force it. Although I don't know why Gu Lingqing and I separated, and why I hypnotized myself, I vaguely felt that it was our fate. Maybe when you look for him this time, your lives will be together, never to be separated again. I'm afraid, Baya said. In front of Alan, she did not need to hold back, nor did she need to be fake. You know, it's very difficult to hypnotize a person's subconscious to make them forget a person. Self-hypnosis is even more difficult, because the subconscious will tell oneself that it's hypnosis. It's so difficult that I even forgot about him. You can imagine how much pain I felt at that time. Xiaoya, people have to look forward, not backward. If you forget. You can fall in love with him again, and then forget everything in the past. Don't think about it, Alan advised. I'm afraid that one day, I'll suddenly remember everything. If that happens, I'll still be in pain. Whenever I think of him now, my heart hurts. It hurts because you still love and care. If it doesn't hurt, it means that you don't care. Since you care, you don't know what the future will be like. Why not try? At most, you'll just return to being a normal person. It's not a big deal. Alan chuckled. That's what I thought, so I confess to you. Baya remained silent and did not say anything. Alan chuckled again. The corners of his mouth were still curled up. After the confession, if it fails, we'll still be good friends. Not only did I not lose anything, but it also made me not have any other thoughts. I think it's a good thing. Baya raised her glass and drank another big glass of wine. I still need to think about it. Alan did not say anything else. This turkey is delicious, but I actually prefer to eat chickens. The people here like to eat turkey. When you come next time, I'll make beggar's chicken for you. It should be more to your taste, Baya said with a smile. Okay. After the meal, Baya was a little drunk. She went back to her room to sleep. Alan looked at Baya's lonely back and smiled slightly. He really hoped to see her happy. More than anything, he hoped that someone could take care of her, even if that person was not him. Now it could not be him. He took out his phone and dialed Gu Lingqing's number. Hello, who is this? Gu Lingqing's slightly cold, and emotionless voice came from the other end of the phone. "Hello, I'm Alan," Alan said with a smile. Gu Lingqing was silent for a moment. "Take good care of her. I'm afraid I can't do it. We broke up a few hours ago. I think this is the shortest time I've ever been in a relationship. It was only a day, and we didn't even kiss." "Why?" Gu Lingqing was puzzled and worried at the same time. "If you want to let her down, you shouldn't have started. I asked to have sex with her, but she rejected me. Her heart can't accommodate other men, only you," Alan said with a smile. He was a little sad. However, losing to Gu Lingqing was nothing to be ashamed of. Gu Lingqing did not say anything on the other end. "You know Xiao Ya's personality better than me. She has always been passive and sensitive, and she doesn't want to hurt others. Once there's a little trouble, she won't fight for it, but force herself to give up. However, in her heart she loves you. I'm leaving tomorrow. Can you take good care of Xiaoya?" Alan asked. Gu Lingqing continued to be silent on the other end. "You're even less talkative than Xiaoya. How can I let her go?" Alan said helplessly. "Alan, thank you," Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. "What are you thanking me for? Yesterday, Xiaoya said that she believes in fate. I believe that she has you in her life. Otherwise, you wouldn't always appear when I want to be with her. Perhaps this is also God's arrangement. I just hope that you won't hurt her," Alan said with a smile. "What time is your flight tomorrow? I'll send you." Chapter 780. Gu Lingqing didn't say anything. "You didn't take it seriously, did you? You're not good with words and you're unpredictable. I don't know what Xiaoya likes about you. Is silence golden?" Alan continued to joke. Gu Lingqing didn't say anything. Alan sighed. "You don't have to send me tomorrow. I don't feel comfortable when I see you. It's good to come alone and leave alone. I didn't gain anything and I didn't lose anything. Good night. Have a good mood." Gu Lingqing responded in a deep voice. Alan felt that Gu Lingqing really made him uncomfortable. When he said he was in a good mood, Gu Lingqing would just ignore him. Sigh, he wouldn't stoop to his level. He hung up the phone and walked upstairs slowly. He would have a good sleep and leave early the next morning. Baya woke up early. She looked at her phone out of habit. It was 6:20 am. She brushed her teeth and washed up before going downstairs. She saw a note on the coffee table and took it out to read. It was written by Alan. "I'm afraid that I won't be able to leave when I see you. I want to trouble you for a few more days and eat a few more meals with you. So, I left early in the morning. I think it's cool to do that. In fact, I can do better. I'll bring my wife to see you next time." Alan even drew a smiley face before he left. Baya smiled. Alan was a person who didn't want to cause trouble or make people worry. He was actually very rational. He was so rational that he knew what he should do. He was also a person who made people feel at ease. She called Alan. Alan picked up the call. "You're up early." "Yeah, what time is your flight?" Baya asked. 6:50 a.m. "It's too late for you to come now. I'm eating breakfast now. Don't forget to eat too. Your body is your own," Alan reminded her. "Have a safe trip. I look forward to you bringing your girlfriend to see me soon," Baya said with a smile. "Same here. All right, I'm going to have breakfast. Bye." Alan hung up the phone. Baya took a deep breath. It had been lively for a few days, but today, it was deserted again. She was the only one left. She habitually lit the aromatherapy and played beautiful music. She made breakfast first, then went out to water the flowers and feed the fish in the pond. She went back to relax, fried a poached egg, took out the kimchi she made a long time ago from the fridge, ate some porridge, and went out. She went to the cauliflower shop to buy fresh flowers and redecorated the room. Taking a deep breath, she could smell the scent of nature. Her appointment today was at 10 o'clock, so she could spend more time at home. Lying on the sofa, she took out a poetry book and flipped through it. The phone rang. She sighed. The person who would call at this time was most likely the police station. She picked up the call when she saw that it was indeed Joan. "Baya, when are you free today?" Joan asked. "I have a patient at 10 o'clock in the morning and 2 in the afternoon." I'm afraid I'll be very busy today, Baya said. Look, can you spare some time to come here? There's a tricky case here, Joan said in a friendly tone. Can I take a break this weekend? I want to have a good rest, Baya said helplessly. It's Friday today. If you can finish the case today, you can take a break this weekend. I won't arrange any new cases for you, Joan promised. Baya looked at the time. I'm free at noon. Sure, I'll ask them to come at noon. Lunch is on me, Joan said. Baya could not read calmly after receiving the case. She went to the kitchen and saw that there was still a lot of rice. She made 5 servings of sushi and put them in a disposable box. Then, she took out a bottle of hoisin sauce from the fridge and put it in a bag. After she was done, she went to work. Then, she put the bag in the fridge. Dr. Bai, the patient from yesterday, said that she wants to be hypnotized. When are you free? The assistant asked. Did her parents agree? Baya asked. Yes. I'm free on Wednesday afternoon. You can arrange it for next Wednesday at 14 o'clock, Baya said. Ha! That's a long wait. The assistant did not understand. Baya smiled. They can only think clearly after a long time. Maybe they will have a different answer. All right, I've learned. Baya went into the treatment room and looked at the patient's information. The patient from last week has been cured and left. This is my first time seeing this patient. He's a 62-year-old man named Zhou Xiang. His psychological problem is that he steals out of habit. The old man is from country A. He comes from a good family and lives in America with his son. His son does international trade and his company is quite big. He lives in a $30 million villa. However, this old man has seen 25 psychiatrists. Baya smiled. After looking at the information, he could roughly guess a few reasons. The old man pushed the door open and entered. He didn't even knock and sat on the sofa. Baya looked at him. His hair was already white. He was wearing a flowery shirt, beach pants, slippers, a gold necklace, a Patek Philippe watch, an emerald ring and a large emerald thumb ring. Baya smiled. What are you smiling at? Do you think you look good when you smile? I think your smile is very fake. Don't think that I don't know that when you smile, you're trying to cheat money, the old man said unkindly. Baya chuckled. He stood up and poured a glass of water for the old man. The old man was confused. How much is this glass of water? This glass of water is free, Baya said politely. Don't think that I don't know that this money is included in the consultation fee. Wool comes from the sheep's back. I won't drink it. The old man pushed Baya's hand away. Baya didn't lower herself to his level. She placed the glass on the table. She sat opposite him and said, according to the information, you often steal things. You guys are just here to chat. I'm not happy to talk to you guys. Don't even think about earning money from my son, the old man said stubbornly. Actually, when you walk in, even if you don't say anything, you'll still have to pay for it, Baya said. The old man immediately stood up and walked towards the door. Baya said calmly, it's the same if you talk to me for an hour or for a minute. The old man stopped, turned around and sat back on the sofa. What do you want to talk about? I don't like you. I'll tell my son later that you're just fishing for fame and you don't know anything. You're not even as good as the psychiatrist I saw last time. I want to see that psychiatrist. Chapter 781. Baya wasn't angry. Under normal circumstances, you can only see your son a few days a month. It's none of your business. Just take care of yourself. I think this place of yours will close down soon, the old man said in a bad temper. Baya smiled. Every time you steal something, you miss your son, right? You think that as long as you steal something, your son will appear. You will be able to see your son and talk to him. You can also see your son's concern for you from his actions. You feel inferior and are afraid that your son won't want you anymore. What nonsense are you talking about? The old man stood up agitatedly. What do you mean inferior? I don't feel inferior. I think you're the one who feels inferior. You know that you can't take good care of me, so you start scolding me. You even curse my son for not wanting me anymore. I'm going to the Consumer Association to sue you. Baya was very calm. She didn't say a word. She just looked at the old man quietly. Her temper was very good. The old man saw that Baya wasn't angry no matter how much he scolded her. He felt bored and sat back on the sofa. He said arrogantly, "Why aren't you angry? Weren't you very talkative just now? I hope you understand one thing. After I see you, I will call your son. One word from me can make him stay with you, or one word from me can make him not see you for a year. Which result do you want?" Baya said calmly. "That's right. What do you want?" Baya asked calmly. The old man flew into a rage again. He stood up and pointed at Baya. He scolded, "You vicious woman. You're counting on me, aren't you? You'll die a horrible death if you separate us like this. Even your husband hates you. You're cunning, evil, and have no moral character." Baya let him scold her. Her expression didn't change as she picked up her teacup. She leaned back on the sofa and drank a mouthful of water. She asked, "Are you done scolding me? Is your skin as thick as a wall? You can remain indifferent even when others scold you? Is your heart made of stone? You don't even care about propriety, justice, and honor anymore. No wonder you ran to American territory and abandoned your hometown. You ungrateful little tch. If my son doesn't see me for a year, I'll come here every day to make a fuss. I'll make so much noise that no one will come to see me." Baya raised the corner of his mouth and laughed. He glanced at the old man and said, "Since you came to my place to make a scene, I'll go to your son's place to make a scene. Anyway, I don't have any more patience and I have plenty of time. You green tch. I'll kill you." The old man charged at Baya. Baya didn't even try to hide. "If you kill me, you won't be able to steal anything in prison. You killed the psychiatrist. Let's see if your son will forgive you. You can forget about seeing your son for the rest of your life. You can still see him once a month." The old man stood still and looked at Baya hatefully. He gritted his teeth and was full of resentment. "You little tch. No wonder your business is so good. You're relying on threats, aren't you?" Baya looked at the old man and said, "I'm not asking for much. Just sit down quietly and answer my questions. Then, I'll let your son see you at least once a week. Perhaps, he'll be able to see you every day." The old man furrowed his brows and said, "Can he really see me every day?" Baya nodded and said, "The prerequisite is that you have to tell me everything that's on your mind." The old man didn't really believe her and sat down on his seat. Baya took out her phone and turned on the recording function. Then she placed the phone on the sofa and asked, "The reason you're stealing is so that your son can visit you, right?" The old man pursed his lips and didn't say a word. Baya wasn't in a hurry. She patiently waited for him to speak. "He's busy with work. Sometimes, he won't come back for a month or two. I call him to come back for dinner, but he won't come back," the old man said, feeling wronged. "If I asked you to work at your son's company, you might be opening the door or cleaning. Would you be willing to do that?" Baya asked again. "Yes, of course I'd be willing. We hired a housekeeper, but she can't even clean as well as I can. I know how to do many things. Not only can I clean, I can also cook. I used to be a chef, a head chef. When the villagers hosted banquets, there were dozens of tables and I was the one who cooked all of them," the old man said proudly. "There are a lot of Americans working at your son's company, right? I can also cook what Americans like to eat. There are a lot of Americans working at my son's company. I can cook a combination of Chinese and Western dishes," the old man said anxiously. "If I convince your son to let you cook, can you promise me that you won't steal anymore?" Baya asked again. "Of course I won't steal anymore. I'm a prideful person. If they scold me, I'll be angry," the old man said firmly. Baya smiled. "Actually, scolding people doesn't benefit you. In the future, if you treat your son's employees well, your son won't be able to chase you away even if he wants to. I'll talk to your son later. I hope that I won't have to see you next week." All right. Hurry up and tell him. If he agrees, I'll give you all my jewelry. In the future, it'll be inconvenient to wear jewelry when I cook. You can keep it for your daughter-in-law," Baya rejected. "You can go out first. I'll call him." "Oh. Then I'll wait for you outside." The old man hurriedly went out. Baya called the old man's son. "Mr. Zhou. I'm Baya. Your father's problem is that he misses you very much, so he did some extreme things to gain your attention and care. Your attitude will directly affect his mentality. If you care about him, he'll become even worse. If you ignore him, he'll become pessimistic and disappointed.
Then what should I do?
The other party asked worriedly. He cares about you a lot and he doesn't ask for much. He just wants to see you and talk to you.
But I'm very busy with work.
I have a suggestion. He's a chef and can cook Chinese food or Western food. Coincidentally, you have a company. You can give your employees benefits and have lunch in the company. That way, your father will have something to do and he can help you win over the hearts of your employees. He'll also be able to see you more often. His health isn't very good. He has diabetes and high blood pressure. Then give him an assistant. He won't be too tired and he'll be happy. When he's happy, he'll get sick less. When he's unhappy, he'll have a mental breakdown. It's not good for his health either, Baya advised. All right then. I'll make the arrangements.
Okay.
Baya hung up. Open the door. The old man looked at her. How did it go?
I agreed.
The old man was elated. He gave a thumbs up to Baya. You're great. You live up to your reputation. I think you're amazing. Baya smiled and sent the patient away. She saw that it wasn't 11 yet, so she called Joan and went to the police station. When she got out of the car, she saw Gu Lingqing. He wore a black suit that accentuated his perfect figure. The collar, cuffs, and collar were all white. It looked like a military uniform. He was very handsome, masculine, righteous, sharp, and cold. His gaze fell on her face. Their eyes met. Chapter 782. Did Qiong ask you to come? Baya asked.
Yeah.
He said that your time was brought forward, so he asked us to come earlier. Gu Lingqing walked towards her and looked at her deeply. I'm sorry, I had a patient in the clinic today. The treatment went well, so I changed the time at the last minute. If it caused you any trouble, I'll be more careful next time. Baya smiled. Yeah, Gu Lingqing replied. Baya's heart skipped a beat. It seemed that her behavior had really caused him trouble. She had to be more careful in the future. The two of them entered together. Gu Lingqing did not speak again. She was too embarrassed to speak again. The atmosphere suddenly became very awkward. She glanced at him, but he did not look at her. His side profile was cool, so she looked away. They were already in the past. He also wanted to erase the memory of her. He should have let it go. Since he had let it go, it was not appropriate for her to pick it up again. Perhaps, it was better to let the past go with the wind. Xiaoya, let's have lunch together at noon, Gu Lingqing said.
Huh.
Baya glanced at him. Go to your place or to my place. Either is fine, Gu Lingqing said. Her heart was beating a little fast. She felt a little uneasy. Was this the final farewell?
We'll see.
Everyone might not be free at noon. Qiong said that he would treat us to lunch. Baya rejected politely. Then I'll go to your place at night, Gu Lingqing said. What she said was a statement. Baya was still a little flustered. She did not answer her. Seeing Shen walking over, she smoothly changed the topic and asked, Are they all here? Yeah, they're all here. Let's talk in the office, Shen said. Baya followed Shen into the office. Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply. Her eyes gradually dimmed. She still did not agree to his date. They all entered the office. Baya realized that only AI Wei was there.
Where are the others?
They were responsible for the case of the drowned bodies last time. They went out to investigate in detail. Baya, your analysis is correct. After we processed the photos of these people, we sent out adult and child photos. Someone came to claim them. They said that they disappeared when they were 8 years old, Shen said. I hope the satellite can capture it soon. That way we should be able to save a lot of people. Baya sighed. Yes, let me talk about this case. Shen Ying put down the projector. A girl with disheveled hair stood on the roof. A minute later, she jumped down from the roof. It's her, Baya said suspiciously.
You know him?
Shen was curious. I went out yesterday afternoon. When I was waiting at the traffic light, I saw her jump down from the roof. She jumped very decisively, almost without hesitation, Baya explained. This is the 8th case this year. We call it the invisible wings. These girls range in age from 16 to 25. What they have in common is that they are all very beautiful. They did not leave a suicide note before they jumped, and they all jumped without hesitation. We suspected that they entered the same social media site together, but we did not. These people did not appear in the same place at the same time. So the case became confusing and unbelievable, Shin explained. What did their families and friends say? Baya asked. Oh, they also have a common characteristic. They were depressed before the incident. They were absent-minded and sometimes did not return home for the whole night. They would cry at the slightest provocation and have an emotional breakdown. We even suspected that they took some drugs together. But according to the forensic report, they did not take any drugs. However, the amount of cortisone in their bodies was higher than normal people. In other words, they were more or less suffering from depression, Shin continued and sent the information to them. Baya browsed and said, Go and check the love history of these girls. Investigate from their girlfriends. There must be something unusual. There must be a ghoul. The murderer is very cunning. He would not leave a mark on the internet. The places that could leave a mark can't be in a place with surveillance cameras, so... Everyone was waiting for her answer, but she could not think of a suitable place to do it. In the suburbs, in the wilderness, on the road, you can meet them by chance, Gu Lingqing said. Baya agreed. You can ask if the girls have been to these places. Okay, I will ask the police here to focus on this investigation. Thank you, Shin said. Baya looked at the time. It was not 12 yet, and Cheong had not come. They were all staring at each other. Shin also felt that the atmosphere was a bit strange. He said, Cheong went out for a meeting this morning. I guess the meeting is not over yet. Then, can we go now? Ivy asked. Yes, I will call you again if there is any new progress. Tomorrow is the weekend. Have a good rest, Shin said with a smile. Baya nodded and glanced at Gu Lingqing. He looked at her too. Baya looked away awkwardly and stood up. Baya, are you free at noon? Ivy asked excitedly. Baya glanced at Gu Lingqing and asked politely, What can I do for you? I want to treat you to lunch, Ivy said shyly. I have something else to do at noon. Sorry, Baya declined with a smile. Ivy was a bit disappointed. Oh, it's okay. Let's do it another day. Okay. Baya walked out of the door and into her car. Gu Lingqing stood beside her. You have something to do at noon. Is it because of me? Didn't you say we were going to have lunch together? Baya asked awkwardly. She felt uneasy when she met Gu Lingqing's gaze. Yeah, let's go to my place. Baya nodded. Okay. You can drive and I'll follow behind. Gu Lingqing drove in the front and she followed behind. His driving route was the same as the one she had taken to get back. Baya was curious. He turned into his neighborhood and stopped in front of his house. Only then did Baya realize that the place where he lived was very close to her house. It was just behind her, 5 houses away. When did you move here? Baya was surprised when she heard the barking of a dog in the backyard. Xiao Bai, Baya shouted happily. Gu Lingqing didn't answer her question. In fact, after he recovered, he came to America to look for her. He knew that she bought a house here, so he also bought a house here. Recently, it was being renovated, so he was temporarily staying on the boat. Gu Lingqing opened the door. His house's renovation was not renovated at all. It was like a raw material. The walls were still cement without any paint. There was a gray sofa, a television, and a fridge. Is this close to nature? Baya asked jokingly. I wanted to renovate it according to what you like, so I didn't do much. I only renovated the kitchen and bathroom. If you don't like it, you can demolish it and renovate it again, Gu Lingqing said. He poured a glass of water and passed it to her. Chapter 783. Decorate according to what I want? Baya asked as she took the glass of water from him. Gu Lingqing looked at Baya deeply. In the past, you warmed up slowly and I warmed up even more slowly. This time, I want to warm up faster. I like you very much. I like you more than you can imagine. Baya put down the glass of water. You like me? Why do you want to erase my memory? Because I thought you got together with Alan. So, I don't want to destroy your happiness. But I will be sad, and unable to bear it. That's why I want to erase my memory, Gu Lingqing said seriously. It didn't sound like sweet talk. It sounded more like a narrative. Baya didn't know how to express herself. Her mind was a mess. I need to think about it. Gu Lingqing's eyes dimmed. Tell me when you understand. If you don't want to continue with me, I will leave America and go back. Baya had a strange feeling in her heart. It was an indescribable coldness. She should be reluctant. If she was reluctant, then she should want to be with him. I'll answer you tomorrow, okay? I'll cook first. Do you have any ingredients at home? Baya asked. You rest. I'll do it, Gu Lingqing said as he opened the fridge. There were a lot of ingredients in the fridge. They looked very fresh. He must have gone out to buy them in the morning. A tall man in uniform cooking. What kind of scenery would that be? Let me do it. I'm not tired. You were injured just now, Baya said as she took the ingredients to the kitchen. I'll help. Gu Lingqing followed her into the kitchen. He took the apron and passed it to her. Baya put it on and Gu Lingqing tied it for her naturally. She felt that this feeling was very familiar. She glanced at Gu Lingqing. His gaze flowed over her face. It was a very natural glance, but she felt warm. She washed the vegetables. Baya washed the vegetables at the side too. She felt that this scene was very familiar. She had to cut the vegetables. Let me do it. You often cut your fingers. Gu Lingqing said and took the knife from her hand. Her heart pounded fiercely as she watched Gu Lingqing skillfully cut the vegetables. She stood at the side and stared at him. At that time, when she was with Alan, she was actually unhappy. She would think of him, and when she thought of him, her heart would ache. But when she really saw him, one look from him would make her feel warm. He wanted to hypnotize her memory. Her heart also ached. She could lie to everyone, but she couldn't lie to herself. She didn't know why she wanted to hypnotize away the memory of him, but she was sure that she liked him. This feeling, no matter if she analyzed it rationally or emotionally, was real. She hugged him from behind. Gu Lingqing's whole body trembled. He was stunned, and his hands stopped moving. Baya didn't know why she suddenly hugged him, but when she hugged him, she felt a sense of security. Previously, she had been floating in the sky without any direction, without any emotions, as if she had transcended. However, she was the only one in the sky, all alone. Gu Lingqing put down the knife and turned to look at her. Baya still didn't let go. She looked at Gu Lingqing's deep eyes. From his face, she still couldn't tell what he was thinking. Why did we separate? Baya asked in confusion. I was seriously ill, so I left. When I got better and came back to know that you had left, I immediately came to America. When I came to America, I found out that you had forgotten about me, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice, and his eyes darkened a little. Baya looked into his eyes and saw no trace of panic. Was he afraid that she couldn't bear his death, so she hypnotized herself? Let's try again? Baya asked. We don't need to try. We'll do our best together, Gu Lingqing said, looking at her with a burning gaze. He lowered his head and moved closer to her lips. Baya was nervous, but she didn't seem to reject it. If the person kissing her was Alan, her heart might feel twisted and uncomfortable. But, when it was facing him, she didn't feel uncomfortable. Gu Lingqing touched her lips. Baya was stunned. His lips were very soft, like cotton candy. The breath he exhaled landed on her face. It was very familiar, very cold, and very clean. She didn't move. He was gentler than she thought. His tongue gently brushed against her lips, and slowly, it entered her mouth. Baya's back stiffened. After he entered, he hooked her tongue and sucked it into his mouth. She didn't remember kissing anyone else, nor did she remember having sex with anyone else. So, she should only have him. Baya thought of what would happen next. She was scared and pushed him away. Gu Lingqing didn't hide the desire in his eyes. What's wrong? We should cook. If we don't, I'll be hungry, Baya explained. She turned around and went to the sink to wash the vegetables. Gu Lingqing hugged her from behind.
Xiaoya, I'm very happy. Baya looked at him.
You don't look happy at all. The corners of Gu Lingqing's lips curled up slightly. Maybe it was because he was usually too cold and expressionless. It was rare for him to smile. She felt that he could turn the world upside down, and her heart started beating faster. What are you happy about?
Baya asked, puzzled.
I thought that we would be separated for the rest of our lives, Gu Lingqing said with a smile, his eyes sparkling. Baya could tell that he was really happy. Then do you still want to cook? We have to eat after all.
Gu
Lingqing replied. He let go of her and continued to cut the vegetables. Baya looked at him, and he also looked at Baya. His gaze was much gentler than before. It was as if all the suppressed and hidden feelings were revealed. He stayed beside Baya while she cooked. She was a little uneasy, so she would look at him from time to time. He would also look at her. I'll take the dishes later. It's too hot. There are only 2 of us, so we can cook less. Also, is the rice cooker ready?
Baya reminded him. Oh, I forgot.
I'll cook it now. Gu Lingqing went out. Baya heaved a sigh of relief. She felt more at ease without him around. She scrambled tomatoes and eggs, and then stir-fried potato strips. When Gu Lingqing came in, she was already cooking the meat. Gu Lingqing took the 2 dishes out. The room was filled with the aroma of meat. Even Little White was barking in the backyard. Gu Lingqing went back to the kitchen. She put in the cooking wine, soy sauce, and sugar. She was going to boil it on high heat before turning to medium heat to collect the sauce. Do you still need to wash the vegetables?
Gu Lingqing asked.
No need, we made 3 dishes. It's enough, Baya said. Gu Lingqing replied. She didn't go out and just stood beside her. He looked at her thoughtfully. Baya felt his gaze. You can rest for a while. Wait for me for another half an hour. It'll be done. I'm resting now. There's something I want to give you, Gu Lingqing said. He held her hand and put the ring in her palm. Chapter 784. Baya looked at the ring. Aren't we moving too fast? We never divorced, Gu Lingqing said. Baya was speechless. She was a little confused and said incoherently, We didn't divorce and you're going to erase my memory. Isn't that committing bigamy? I mean, you don't even remember that we didn't divorce. Before I erase my memory, I can cancel our marriage information with a call. You won't commit bigamy, Gu Lingqing explained seriously. Baya felt that she was amusing. She didn't commit bigamy, so she didn't have to worry about it. She put the ring in her pocket. Gu Lingqing frowned. Aren't you going to wear it? Aren't you wearing it too? Baya asked. Gu Lingqing immediately put the ring on her ring finger. Baya thought for a while and returned the ring to him. Gu Lingqing's heart skipped a beat and his eyes darkened. Help me put it on, Baya said. He instantly swept away the concealment in his eyes, smiled and helped her put it on. Baya looked at the ring on her finger. Under the sunlight, it was reflecting the light. She suddenly remembered something. My senior said that you and I have 2 children. Can I see them? Xiao Yan has been living with his adoptive parents. Shosho is with Mom. I called Mom and asked her to bring Shosho here, Gu Lingqing said. Xiao Yan, the 7-year-old child? Why is he living with his adoptive parents? Baya asked in confusion. Xiao Yan is not 7. He is 9. Shosho is 15 months old. When you left, it was still winter. Now, summer is almost over. Gu Lingqing looked at her gently and said, As for why he is living with his adoptive parents, it's because you think that Xiao Yan wants to live with his adoptive parents more. When everything is over, he will bring everyone together. Baya answered. 9 years old. Doesn't that mean they've been together for a long time? After braised pork with soy sauce was done, they began to eat. Are you still going to the research center in the afternoon? Baya asked. I have something to tell you. Gu Lingqing's expression was very serious. I'm not a security guard at the research center. I'm from the investment research center, Gu Lingqing said. Baya paused for a second. You are also the one who invested in 11? Yes, Gu Lingqing replied. Baya hadn't expected this. Why did you do this? The research in the research center is beneficial to the whole world, and experts from all over the world are gathered there. As for the investment in the police station, they want to have a chance to contact you, Gu Lingqing said frankly. You. Baya didn't know what to say. Are you rich? Yes. If you have so much money, why don't you support the development of your country? Baya asked puzzledly. 90% of it is used for military development. I took over the special forces in the northern and southern regions to quell the civil unrest. Now, Wuxia can control everything, Gu Lingqing explained. What do you mean? Baya was confused. She thought for a while. You are a high-ranking official in your country. Isn't it inappropriate for you to walk around in the US like this? I'm just behind the scenes. I haven't officially announced it yet. I accepted the military to help Wuxia overcome his difficulties. In the future I want to be with you. If you stay in the US, I will stay. If you want to visit other places, I will accompany you. For the rest of my life, my time is all yours, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. Baya listened to his confession calmly. She was surprised and didn't say anything. Let's eat. After the meal, he left her place and went to the clinic. She kept thinking about what he said. She felt that there was a deep sense of apology in his tone. It was as if he wanted to make it up to her. It made her feel uncomfortable. Unknowingly, she arrived at the clinic and went in. Dr. Bai, the patient in the afternoon can't come. Do you want to make an appointment with someone else? The assistant asked. There's no need. Baya went to the treatment room alone. She put on some music and lay on the sofa. She closed her eyes and emptied her mind to rest. Unknowingly, she fell asleep. When she woke up, her mind was clearer. She couldn't be afraid of the future because she was afraid of the past. She still had to move on in the future. She called Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing picked up the phone as soon as it rang. Are you free now? Baya asked. Yes. I'm done with my work here. It's still early. I know a good place to fish. Want to go together? Baya invited. Gu Lingqing smiled. Sure. I might stay there tonight. I need to get some clothes. I want to bring you to a place tomorrow, Baya said with a smile. Sure. See you in an hour. Baya hung up the phone. She went home and packed her luggage. Her phone rang. It was Gu Lingqing's. She picked up. Take my car. I'm at your house, Gu Lingqing said. Baya opened the door. She was carrying a suitcase and a big bag of luggage. Gu Lingqing looked at her bag in surprise. You even brought a pot? I caught some fish. I used the pot to cook it in the wild. It's very delicious, Baya said. Gu Lingqing took her luggage and put it in the back. I still have a few bottles of water. Wait a minute. Baya went back to get purified water. There were 15 liters. She took out 10 bottles. Gu Lingqing helped to carry them to the car. They set off. Baya navigated the address. It's a bit far. It'll take 2 hours. But you won't regret it once you get there. Yeah. I think we'll pass by the supermarket. I'll go and buy some things, Gu Lingqing said. Sure. They went to the supermarket. Gu Lingqing bought a tent, a lighter, beef jerky, dried vegetables, 2 bags of spaghetti, apples, lemons, and watermelon. Then they set off. When they arrived at the location Baya mentioned, it was already 18:35 in the afternoon. The sky was getting dark. Are we still going fishing at night? Gu Lingqing asked. If we fish now, we might be able to catch a fish before it gets dark. We'll have fish to eat at night, Baya said. She took off her fishing gear. Are we going to set up the tent here? Gu Lingqing looked around. It was surrounded by mountains on both sides. The scenery was good. It was a little cold, but there would be a lot of mosquitoes. Luckily, he brought some mosquito repellent. Yeah. After I catch a fish, we can bathe in the river. After that, we'll wash it down with clean water. Gu Lingqing frowned. What if someone passes by? Baya smiled and said, I brought a prop here. No one can see it. Chapter 785. Baya put the fishing rod in place, took out a retractable rod from the bag, stuck the rod into the ground, and fixed it with a stone. There was a circle on the rod, and the circle was surrounded by opaque plastic. If a person went in, only their head would be exposed, and no one would be able to see what was inside. Gu Lingqing nodded. It's indeed very convenient. Baya smiled. Seeing the buoy moving, he immediately took the rod. It was a 5-centimeter African crucian carp. Baya continued fishing. Gu Lingqing set up a tent and went to the edge of the forest to pick up a lot of dry wood. There were 2 stone circles 10 meters around the tent for firewood. This place looked very wild, and there might be wild beasts in the forest. With a fire, the beasts would not come close, and it could also repel mosquitoes. He also made a stone circle 10 meters behind, and placed a big tree trunk in it. This way, the tree trunk could burn for a night. When it was done, he set up a simple stone stove by the lake, put a pot on it, and boiled water. Baya looked at Gu Lingqing's familiar look. Did you often live in the wild in the past? Gu Lingqing looked at Baya. You and I used to live in the wild for a long time. Baya was stunned. She liked living in the wild so much now. Was it because she had lived in the wild with him in the past? No wonder you look so familiar. I've already caught 5 fish, but they are not big. I'm not very lucky today. Baya said apologetically. There are ham sausages in the fridge, and the braised pork that we didn't finish at noon. I've brought them all. Even if there are no fish, we can eat noodles. It's okay. Besides, 5 is enough. Gu Lingqing said. Ah, you've brought the braised pork too. There's a barbecue rack in the bag. Set up a stone stove later, and we'll grill the fish. Baya said. Gu Lingqing went to her bag and took out the barbecue rack. There were all kinds of seasonings on the barbecue rack, and they were all wrapped together with plastic wrap. He took the things down. The biggest carp Baya had caught today was only about 15 centimeters long. She cleaned the fish by the river and found a branch. She sharpened one end of the branch with a knife and inserted it into the belly of the fish. She took it out of the fish's mouth and roasted it on the grill. Gu Lingqing carried the braised pork out, placed it on the stone, and put the noodles in the pot. Smelling the aroma, Baya sighed. If only we had 2 bottles of beer, today would be perfect. Wait a minute. Gu Lingqing stood up and moved a box of beer from the car. There were 12 cans in total. Baya was curious. How many things did you bring? It's amazing. You brought everything I could think of. Gu Lingqing opened a can and passed it to Baya. Baya took a sip and exhaled. It feels so refreshing. Gu Lingqing drank a mouthful of beer with her. The sky was already dark and the surroundings were very quiet. It was so quiet that they could hear the crackling of the flames. Give me your hand, Gu Lingqing said. Baya was in a good mood, so she passed her hand to him. He took out the mosquito repellent and applied it on Baya's arm. Baya laughed. I'm going swimming later. Wouldn't it be a waste to apply it? We'll stay here for 2 days. It's enough, Gu Lingqing said. He helped her apply it on the other hand and the exposed leg. We'll leave early tomorrow morning. We'll go to the top of the mountain. We'll be able to see the sunrise. It's very beautiful, Baya said. Okay. After eating tonight, take a shower and go to bed early. My alarm is set for 5 o'clock. Is that okay? Gu Lingqing asked. Baya made an okay gesture. She sprinkled some salt, cumin, and spices on the grilled fish. Then, she turned around and continued grilling. Gu Lingqing put some dried vegetables in the pot. Soon, the noodles were ready. Did you bring a bowl? Gu Lingqing asked. Yes. They're stainless steel bowls. There are 2 of them. The chopsticks are also stainless steel. You can look for them. If not, I'll go get them. Baya stood up. It's okay. You'll be responsible for grilling the fish. Gu Lingqing stood up and took her bag. She brought a lot of things. Steel wires, ropes, flashlights, daggers, a space blanket, and a sleeping bag. He remembered that she also brought a suitcase. Your clothes are in the suitcase? Gu Lingqing asked. Yes. Baya passed the grilled fish to him. This small fish should be ready to eat. Try it. It'll taste better if you tear it with your hands. Gu Lingqing took the fish from Bai Ye and tore it apart to eat. Bai Ye scooped 2 bowls of noodles and placed them on a rock. She asked, "Have you eaten slabbed grilled meat before?" Gu Lingqing shook her head.
No.
I came here with my colleagues. They made slabbed grilled meat. It's really delicious. We'll bring some grilled meat next time. I'll cook it for you, Bai Ye said. The corners of Gu Lingqing's mouth curled up. He thought of their life on the deserted island. Although they had nothing, they lived a comfortable and happy life. They didn't have any worries. They let go of everything and lived a happier life. Stress was given to oneself. The more one could not let go, the greater the stress. After eating, Bai Ye jumped into the water and swam. She did not even take off her clothes. Gu Lingqing also went into the water. The water in the lake in the forest was very clean. There was no pollution. Moreover, it was very cool. Bai Ye swam for 20 minutes. She went ashore first. She took out the clothes she was going to wear at night from her suitcase and put them on the circle. She opened a bottle of purified water and washed herself. She put on her clothes and came out. Gu Lingqing walked towards her. "Take off your clothes later. I'll wash them for you," Bai Ye said.
Where should I dry them?
Gu Lingqing asked, puzzled. "Ah, I forgot to put up the drying rack." "I'm sorry," Bai Ye said apologetically. "You can put it up tomorrow when you come back. It's hot, so it will dry easily," Gu Lingqing suggested. "Okay. You wash first. I'll get you some water." Bai Ye put the dirty clothes on the rock. She went to get a bottle of clean water for Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing took a shower and changed into clean clothes. Bai Ye packed her things and found a problem. She originally wanted to sleep in the car. But now, Gu Lingqing prepared a tent. "Are we going to sleep in the tent tonight?" "We'll sleep in the tent tonight. I remember there's a kind of tent that is fixed on the roof of the car. It's safer," Gu Lingqing said. "Ah," she replied. "Are we going to sleep together?"
Yes.
Gu Lingqing walked past her and took the space quilt and mat from the train seat. He put the space quilt under the tent, put the mat on it, threw the space quilt she brought into the tent, and went in first. Bai Ye took a deep breath. She was already past the age of a young girl. She knew what would happen between a mature man and a woman. She didn't reject it that much, but she also felt awkward. She entered the tent. Gu Lingqing was already lying down. With the dim light, she could see that he was using his arm as a pillow. The quilt was on his stomach. It seemed that he was asleep. She lay down beside him and also pinched a corner of the quilt and put it on his stomach. Chapter 786. Bai Ye blushed before she could reply. She turned around and ignored him. Gu Lingqing turned around, hugged her waist, and pulled her to his side. He greedily smelled her scent and rubbed his face against her hair. Bai Ye felt his breath fall on her face, and the whooshing sound disturbed her mind. "Gu Lingqing, it's hot," Bai Ye said. He moved her face and kissed her lips. Bai Ye's heartbeat quickened, but she didn't know why she didn't reject it. Gu Lingqing's movements became wilder and wilder, as if what happened next was natural. His palm went under her clothes and unbuttoned her back. Bai Ye was in a daze. She was dizzy from the heat and couldn't think of anything. Everything was under his control. When he went in, she slowly came back to her senses and cried out. "It hurts." "Okay, I'll slow down." Gu Lingqing kissed her face and lips. Soon, the pain stopped and was replaced by another pleasant feeling. "I'm not in my safe period," Bai Ye reminded him. Gu Lingqing kissed her passionately and replied in a hoarse voice, "I know, don't worry." Bai Ye didn't expect to have sex with him so soon, but everything seemed to happen naturally. There was no barrier in between. After that, Gu Lingqing washed up. She became shy and turned her back to him. Gu Lingqing faced her, hugged her waist, and kissed the back of her head. "Sleep." "Okay." Bai Ye fell asleep in a daze. The next day, she was woken up by the alarm clock. The sky was just getting brighter. She turned her head and saw that Gu Lingqing was also awake. He opened his eyes and looked at her. For a moment, she felt very happy and smiled. "Morning." Gu Lingqing also slightly raised the corner of his mouth and sat up. "Morning." "I'm going to brush my teeth and wash my face," Bai Ye said. It's cold in the mountains for breakfast. Put on your coat, Gu Lingqing reminded her.
Yes.
Baya put on a coat, opened the tent, and came out. A cool breeze blew over, bringing with it the moist, fresh air of the mountains. Baya took a deep breath and felt very comfortable. Gu Lingqing also came out. After he boiled some hot water, he brushed his teeth and washed his face. Then, he put noodles in the pot and dried vegetables. Baya sat beside her. The light from the fire made her face blush. Today, we're going to climb to the top of the mountain and watch the sunrise. He first scooped a bowl of noodle soup for Baya to warm her stomach. He scooped a bowl for himself and sat beside her. Baya realized that although he wasn't a talkative person, he was actually very meticulous and would do anything. His actions warmed people's hearts more than words. Have you been to the top of the mountain before? Gu Lingqing asked. No, I've seen pictures taken by others. It's very beautiful, so I want to go to the top of the mountain to have a look, Baya said. When you go, prepare a dagger. There may be poisonous snakes and beasts in the mountains, as well as poisonous spiders. Protect yourself first. You'll follow me later, Gu Lingqing reminded her. Without Gu Lingqing, she would probably never be able to go to the top of such a mountain by herself. Because of him, she wanted to experience a different scenery. Okay. Baya followed Gu Lingqing's instructions. She wore a long coat and trousers, and tied the trousers' legs with a rope to prevent small insects from getting in. She wore a hat, and her neck was also protected. She also wore white rubber gloves. Gu Lingqing carried a backpack with some of the most basic things for survival in the wild. There were also 2 bottles of mineral water, a small bottle and a large bottle, and some beef jerky. Gu Lingqing walked in front, and Baya followed behind. Even though it hadn't rained in the past few days, some places on the mountain were still quite wet and slippery. Gu Lingqing walked very slowly. She cut off all the branches that blocked the way, and tried to walk in an open space. Fortunately, the mountain wasn't very high. The 2 of them climbed for 1.5 hours to the top of the mountain. The sun just came out from the sky. The scenery was so beautiful that it could attract everyone's eyes. Aren't you going to take pictures? Gu Lingqing asked. Feel it with your heart and see with your eyes. The scenery, the wind, the smell, and the people at this time. Take a few deep breaths, because taste is the thing that can stay in the memory for the longest time. When you think of this taste, you can remember the scene at that time. As for taking pictures, other people can take much better pictures than me, Baya said after taking a deep breath. Gu Lingqing also took a deep breath. She thought that the reason why she had sex with Gu Lingqing so naturally was that she was familiar with his smell. So she didn't reject it, wasn't afraid, and was sincerely convinced. Even though she had no memory of him, she still remembered his feeling. Let's go, Baya said. Wait a minute. Drink some water and eat something. It took some energy to climb up the mountain, and it took more energy to go down the mountain because the road was slippery, Gu Lingqing suggested and gave her a bottle of mineral water. It was a small bottle. He also gave her some beef jerky. Baya sat at the top of the mountain and ate the beef jerky. He raised a smile. What's wrong? Gu Lingqing asked confusedly. Now I can understand why so many people like to climb mountains. When you reach the top of the mountain, you have a sense of achievement. After eating noodles at the top of the mountain, your life will be complete, Baya said with a smile. If I had known earlier, I would have put a stainless steel bowl and brought some noodles, Gu Lingqing said. We can wait for next time. If it's not complete, it will be more memorable. When we go down the mountain later, can we make some traps in the forest? Maybe we'll be able to catch some prey at night, Baya said. I brought some fruits. We can use fruits as bait, Gu Lingqing said. And the beef jerky? The color of the beef jerky is not bright. If it is mixed with the soil, it will be hard for the animals to find it, Gu Lingqing reminded.
Oh, then I'll eat it myself,
Baya said with a smile. She looked at him and suddenly remembered what happened last night. Her heart beat faster and she lowered her head shyly. Gu Lingqing stood up and looked down at the mountain. Next time, let's go to the beach. This weather is a good time to catch crabs. Okay, I like it, Baya said with a smile. He knew that she liked it because the time on the deserted island was the happiest time they had ever spent together. After eating and resting for half an hour, they went down the mountain. When they were about to reach the lake, Gu Lingqing made 4 traps. Then the 2 of them came out of the mountain together. Looking at the time, it was already 9:15 in the morning. Baya felt hot. She wanted to swim, so she took off her coat. Gu Lingqing stopped her. Don't swim first. The water temperature is very low now. It's not good for your health. Wait until 3 or 4 in the afternoon. I saw a lot of fish coming over. Go and make traps. Help me pick some branches.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll go pick some branches. Baya listened to Gu Lingqing. The 2 of them went to pick a lot of branches. Chapter 787. Gu Lingqing was at the lakeside. There were cobblestones everywhere, and branches were inserted into them. They were densely packed together, forming the shape of an inverted conch. The outer layer was very narrow, and the inside was very wide. Fragrant fish feed was scattered inside, and the fish would follow the fragrance and enter. Once they entered, they would not be able to come out. After that, Gu Lingqing went to build a drying rack with branches, while Baya went to the other side of the lake to wash clothes. When the clothes were ready, Gu Lingqing had finished setting up the drying rack. She was a little hungry after drying her clothes. Looking at the time, it was already 11:35. Even though he didn't do anything, he felt that time had passed quickly and was very fulfilling. Do we have enough noodles? Baya asked. There's also a big bag. I bought 500 grams. Together with dried vegetables and braised pork, you can eat 2 meals. Baya smiled. I'm free in the afternoon. I hope I can catch enough fish to last until tomorrow afternoon. Let's go. I like camping here. Gu Lingqing also showed a faint smile. If you like, we can come here more often. Next time we come, we will be more prepared. However, if the weather gets too cold, don't go swimming. Didn't they say that winter swimming is good for the body? Baya asked in confusion and sat down beside him. Gu Lingqing was boiling water. She explained, it's good to swim in winter often. It can increase blood circulation, but it's hard to swim once. It's like losing half of your life. Many people get sick for half a month after swimming in winter. Baya replied, I'll go fishing first. The earlier I fish, the more I can catch. I'll go hunting in the forest later. I'll be back in the evening. If you find anything dangerous, stay in the car and wait for me, Gu Lingqing said. What about you? What if you're in danger? Baya asked worriedly. I can run 6 or 7 meters away from the trunk in 3 seconds. Besides, I have a saber with me. It won't be a problem, Gu Lingqing explained. Baya nodded. Don't go in for too long. We're leaving at noon tomorrow. It's okay if we can't catch any prey. I can still fish. Just go for 2 hours. Is that okay? He couldn't bear to leave her here for too long. After a meal, Baya went fishing while Gu Lingqing carried his backpack and set off. She looked at Gu Lingqing's back view. Perhaps because he was a soldier, she felt that he was manly, handsome, and gave her a sense of security. Her heart was also filled with warmth. She patiently fished. At 3 o'clock, the fish she caught were not big, but she had caught more than 20 fish. At 3:50 p.m., Gu Lingqing came out of the woods and caught a pheasant. Baya was surprised and ran towards him. You caught it? Gu Lingqing nodded. It's not very big, but it should be enough for dinner. I'll go and see if there's any prey in our trap. That's great. Let's go and stew the pheasant first. I also caught more than 20 fish. It should be enough for dinner. Are there any fish in the trap? Gu Lingqing asked. Baya took the pheasant from Gu Lingqing's hands and replied, Not yet. I wonder if there are any? Gu Lingqing walked over to take a look. He stretched out his hand and grabbed it. There are 2. They don't look small. Huh. Baya carried the bucket over. Gu Lingqing grabbed the carp and placed it in the bucket. The carp looked to be about 5 to 6 catties. Looks like we won't be able to finish it, Baya said with a smile. Yeah, we can take it away if we can't finish it. The lake looks very clean. I'll go to the woods and be back in an hour. Okay. Gu Lingqing went into the woods to see if there was any prey in the trap. Baya prepared the pheasant first and put it in the pot to stew it. This kind of pheasant needed to be stewed for 2 hours before it would be soft and tasty. She prepared the pheasant and cleaned the fish. The fish she caught was not big, so she still wanted to eat grilled fish. However, the carp in Gu Lingqing's trap was a little big. She only killed one of them and cut it into thin slices. She marinated it first. Gu Lingqing came out of the woods and brought back another pheasant. Looks like we have a great harvest. We can have a good rest tomorrow, Baya said with a smile. Yeah, I took some time to dismantle the trap. It smells so good. Is the pheasant ready? Gu Lingqing asked. He looked at the time. It was only 16:20. Not yet. It needs to be stewed for another hour. Is there any dried vegetables? Baya asked. Yes, I brought a lot. I'll put it in half an hour. What are you going to do with this pheasant? Gu Lingqing asked. Leave it to me. You go for a swim and take a bath. We'll be done in the morning, Baya said with a smile and took the pheasant from Gu Lingqing's hands. She was good at cooking and preferred to do it herself. Gu Lingqing was sweating all over. He supported her and went for a swim. Baya cleaned the pheasant, cut it into 4 pieces and put them in a plastic bag. She remembered that there was a small fridge in Gu Lingqing's car. The pheasant would definitely not be finished today. She put it in the fridge and ate it tomorrow. It was still very fresh. Gu Lingqing came up. You go take a bath. I'll wash the clothes. Yeah, you should go for a swim too. The water is very cool, Gu Lingqing suggested. Okay. Baya also went in for a swim. After a bath, Gu Lingqing sat in front of the fire to roast the fish. Baya washed the clothes and hung them in the sun. She sat next to Gu Lingqing and sniffed. It looks delicious. Gu Lingqing passed the roasted fish to her. Be careful, it's hot. Baya took the fish, blew on it, and tore the meat from the fish's stomach to eat. Gu Lingqing looked at her. When we go back tomorrow, I want Mom to bring Shosho to America. What do you think? Baya's heart was beating very fast. I don't think I know your mother anymore. What will she think of me? She understands you and supports me to come to America to find you. You two had a very good relationship. Don't worry. Shosho is already 15 months old. He can walk and call Mom and Dad. Baya did not know how she should face them now that they were here. She was a little worried. Don't be afraid. I'm here, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice. Baya looked at his deep gaze. It was very powerful and firm. She compromised and nodded. Since we've decided to be together, we'll have to meet them eventually. Let them come. When are they coming? I want to arrange for it to be next Sunday. What do you think? Gu Lingqing asked. That's good. I'm more free on the weekends. Baya said and ate the fish. Actually, her heart was beating faster than she thought. She was not as calm as she thought. She was a little worried that if her mother and child came, it would trigger her memory. Chapter 788. What's wrong? Gu Lingqing noticed something. You don't want to? I'm feeling conflicted. I want to see them, but I'm afraid to, Baya said honestly. You'll have to see them eventually, Gu Lingqing said. She could tell that he wanted her to see them. Since he was so calm, did that mean that their past was actually good? Baya smiled and repeated his words. Yes, you'll have to see them eventually. What are you going to do with the fish over there? Gu Lingqing changed the topic. Baya looked at the fish she was preparing. I'm going to make teppanyaki. I've already marinated it. The fish should be very tender. Wait a moment. She found her bag and found a round piece of iron inside. This can be used to make teppanyaki. I've made it before when I was alone at home. It's not bad. Put it on a rock first. It'll be hot soon, Baya explained. She washed the iron plate first and put it on the rock. She washed the marinated fish, brushed a little oil on the iron plate and put the fish on it. The fish turned white in a while. She sprinkled some seasoning on it and put a piece of fish into Gu Lingqing's bowl. Try it. It looks like a barbecue on paper. It looks good. Gu Lingqing took a bite and nodded. It tastes good too. Baya smiled. I like to eat fish. When I'm alone at home, I make fish like this too. One person can eat an entire crucian carp. Shosho likes to eat fish too. That's like you. Then you must get rid of the fish bones. Oh yeah, there's a type of fish called ong ong. It's delicious and nutritious. It's delicious in soup or tofu, Baya suggested. Gu Lingqing smiled. Shosho likes to eat this type of fish the most. One person can eat 3 of them. Baya responded. She didn't know why, but her heart was filled with warmth when she heard Gu Lingqing say that. She continued to fish. Gu Lingqing looked at the pot. The chicken soup should be almost done. If I keep cooking, there will be no soup left. Yes. I'll do it, said Baya. Let me fill it up. Be careful. It's hot. Gu Lingqing took her bowl, filled it up, and handed it to her. Baya saw a car driving over. Someone's coming. Gu Lingqing looked over and saw that there were quite a few cars, 3 of them. Do people come here often? I think so. I came here last time with a friend, Baya said. The car stopped and a blonde American man got out of the car. When he saw Baya, he took the initiative to greet him. Baya, you're here. What a coincidence. Yeah, Benny, have you had dinner? Baya asked. Benny shook his head. We drove for 2 hours, so we don't have any yet. But we bought a lot of barbecue, so it's convenient. Benny's gaze fell on Gu Lingqing's face. Boyfriend? Yes, Baya admitted. Then let's get busy. We'll talk later, Benny said. Benny said as he led the other 7 people to set up tents and start a fire. He's my classmate from America. He studied psychology too. After he finished his studies, he went back home and started a company in the red wine business. The business is quite good, Baya said to Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing replied. He looked at Baya deeply. In fact, he didn't like it when others came to ruin their world. Next time, we'll continue to look for a better place. Baya nodded and ate the chicken in her bowl. Benny walked over and said to Baya and Gu Lingqing, they asked me to invite you over. Baya remembered that she came with Benny and his friends last time. Although the people this time were different, they were still Benny's friends. Sure, I have grilled fish here. There's a lot of it. Let them eat first. Baya gave them 16 skewers of grilled fish. Benny took them and distributed them to his friends. Benny walked over and looked at Baya's pot. You brought a pot? It smells good. Is it chicken? You even brought a chicken here? Gu Lingqing understood what Benny meant. Do you have bowls? Come and get a bowl. But the 8 of you might not be enough. This chicken isn't very big. It's enough. It's enough. I have disposable bowls. I'll let them eat first to fill their hunger. Later, when we get the barbecue, we can eat together, Benny said and waved his hands at his friends. When they all got a bowl, the pot was gone. Gu Lingqing looked at Baya. Are you full? It's okay. It's like eating barbecue later. How about you? Are you full? Baya asked. I ate a lot of fish. Plus, there's still some fish fillets. Just as Gu Lingqing finished speaking, Benny appeared behind them again. Can we try that fish fillet of yours? It smells really good. Oh, Baya answered casually. Benny's friends lined up again, but there weren't many fish fillets left. They only had a few pieces each. Gu Lingqing and Baya were gone again. Baya looked at the grilled fish. Luckily, there were still a few left. Benny's friends didn't ask and took them all. Baya was speechless. Gu Lingqing looked at Baya. I'm going to clean up and pack up. I'll bring you somewhere. Okay. I'll clean up. I'm good at it, Baya said. She took the pot and went to the lake to clean it. Gu Lingqing didn't stop her and tore down the tent. Are you guys leaving now? Benny asked. Gu Lingqing nodded. We're going somewhere else tonight. Can you leave it for us? It's not convenient for us to have a man and a woman. It'll be convenient with this, Benny said. I'm sorry. I'm afraid it's not convenient. We'll need it when we go somewhere else. Gu Lingqing rejected him directly. Benny's expression was a bit sour. He saw Baya wash the dishes and pot and said, Baya, can you lend us this pot? We still need it tomorrow. Gu Lingqing rejected on behalf of Baya. Benny was speechless. What about the fishing tools? You're not going to fish tomorrow, are you? Benny asked. We do need to fish tomorrow. I'm sorry. Gu Lingqing rejected them all. You don't want the fish, right?
I see there's a big carp in the tank, Benny said.
Indeed, I can give it to you. Take it, Gu Lingqing said. Gu Lingqing said. He watched as Benny grabbed the fish in the water tank and walked into the group of friends. Gu Lingqing organized the things and Baya helped. In the end, when Gu Lingqing went to remove the trap in the lake, he found a surprise. Xiaoya, take the tank. Chapter 789. Gu Lingqing caught a fish that was more than a foot long. Wow, this fish is delicious, Baya exclaimed. Gu Lingqing caught another perch more than a foot long. Baya was pleasantly surprised. Gu Lingqing caught 3 in total. Seeing this, Benny and his friends walked over. Gu Lingqing dismantled the trap. Benny's friend whispered something to Benny. Benny walked over and said, "You're still fishing tomorrow, right?" Baya looked at Gu Lingqing. "We're fishing tomorrow," Gu Lingqing answered. "Then give us these fish. We have a lot of people, so we can finish them," Benny said. "We're going to fish from the sea tomorrow, so we still need these freshwater fish." "I'm sorry," Gu Lingqing refused. Benny was speechless. "Why are you so stingy? These fish are from the lake, and you're not even willing to give them to us? It's not like we're asking for your money," Benny's friend said. Gu Lingqing ignored him and carried the box to the car. "Baya, you're not a good boyfriend. You don't know how to behave," Benny provoked. Before, Baya wasn't angry. She didn't want to reject them when they asked for something, so she just let them take it. However, provoking them was a bit too much. "Then do you know how to behave?" Baya's face turned cold and she asked back. Benny paused. "What do you mean?" Benny's friend said angrily. "He asked us for things again and again, and scolded us if we didn't give it to him. He's protecting my things. Why doesn't he know how to behave? Does he have to give it to you?" Baya said coldly. "Yo, you be *tch. We gave you some face, but you really think you're a son of a *tch. We're taking these fish. I advise you to leave the fish, or else you'll have bones to eat today," Benny's friend said bossily. Gu Lingqing saw them bullying Baya, so she immediately went over and protected Baya behind her. "Do you think it's useful to have a man? There are 8 of us here. Since we like your fish, we will give you face. Leave the fish and get lost," Benny's friend said. "Benny, your friend is this kind of person. Can't you tell the good from the bad?" Baya said sternly. Benny also felt that it was too much. "Forget it, we can catch the fish ourselves." "I want this fish today," Benny's friend said, looking at Benny's other friends. Some of his friends rolled up their sleeves, while others took out iron rods from their cars. "Gu Lingqing, let's go." Baya was worried about Gu Lingqing. "Xiaoya, wait for me in the car," said Gu Lingqing. "But you, Tinghua, I'll be fine," Gu Lingqing promised, his sharp gaze sweeping across them. Baya wanted to get a weapon from the car to help Gu Lingqing, so she walked towards the car. The man with the iron rod hit Gu Lingqing. Gu Lingqing dashed forward and hit the man's armpit. The man retreated a few meters and knelt on the ground. The others saw that their friend was hit, so they joined in. In just 5 minutes, everyone was on the ground, except for Benny, who hadn't made a move. Baya wanted to help, but it seemed that she didn't need to do anything. When they were on the sea, she could feel that he was very good. There were more than 10 of them, and they were all good at swimming, but they couldn't beat him, let alone on land. But she didn't expect that he was so good behind him. In an instant, he had beaten the other party. Benny's face was pale, and the corner of his mouth twitched. "We're all friends. Benny, you'll be marked by the company you keep. You study psychology too. You know what kind of person they are, and what kind of consequences they will bring you. You're on your own," said Baya. She turned around and left with Gu Lingqing. The sky was already dark. After the fight just now, their emotions were still agitated, and neither of them spoke. Half an hour later, Baya spoke first. "I'm sorry. It's not your fault. Those people appeared suddenly. There are many accidents in life, and we can't control them. What we can do is to stay together and overcome all difficulties together, Gu Lingqing said meaningfully. Baya was an extremely smart person. She understood what he meant. Was it an accident that we separated? Yes, there was a bullet in the back of my head. You thought I would definitely die, said Gu Lingqing. His eyes darkened, and there was a faint mist in them. He didn't want to talk anymore. He looked at the front and pursed his lips. Baya was also faintly sad. She skipped this heavy topic. Where are you taking me? That place is a bit far. You sleep for a while. I'll wake you up when we get there, said Gu Lingqing. Okay. Baya put down the chair and closed her eyes. Gu Lingqing stopped the car and rearranged the things. He put down all the chairs at the back and made a bed. You sleep at the back. It'll be more comfortable. Remember to cover yourself with a blanket, said Gu Lingqing. Okay. Baya lay down at the back. Gu Lingqing covered Baya with a blanket. He drove and made the window smaller. They continued driving. Because she had been busy the whole day, she was also a little tired. She closed her eyes and fell asleep soon. Gu Lingqing drove for 5 hours. It was almost 12 o'clock when they reached the destination. It was too late. He didn't make the tent. He put the luggage on the passenger seat. Baya opened her eyes. Are we there? Yeah, we'll make do for today. We'll sleep in the car, said Gu Lingqing. Okay. Baya closed her eyes and continued to sleep in a daze. The next day, she heard birds chirping. When she opened her eyes, the sky was just getting brighter. Gu Lingqing was sleeping beside her. He slept late last night. She didn't wake him up and let him continue sleeping. When she opened the back door, she was stunned by what she saw. They drove to the top of the mountain. At first glance, there was a huge sea. In front of the sea was a green book. Above the green trees was mist. This scene was like a fairyland. It was too beautiful. It was so beautiful that her eyes were wet. Gu Lingqing got up and sat beside her. He said in a hoarse voice, "Morning. I'm sorry I woke you up. Sleep a little more." "It's still early," said Baya. Gu Lingqing looked at the time on his watch. "It's okay. This bit of time is enough." "How did you find this place?" "It's so beautiful. It's 100 times more beautiful than the previous place. Compared to this place, the previous place could only be considered a leisure place," said Baya. "A long time ago, when I was on a mission, I stopped here for a short while. I felt that this place is very beautiful. When the sun comes out later, you can see the colorful red in the mist below," said Gu Lingqing as he got out of the car. Chapter 790. Gu Lingqing put the tent under the shade of a tree and built a stone stove with stones. Baya went over to help and sighed. "The only flaw is that there is no lake." Gu Lingqing smiled. "Do you see the beach over there? If we have time we can climb down there. It will take us about 2 hours, but we have to leave in the afternoon. So, we can go there on our next vacation." "Yeah, it's so beautiful here. It's enjoyable to rest in such an environment. You rest for a while. I'll call you when I'm done with breakfast," Gu Lingqing said. "I'm good at cooking. Do you have any noodles? There's still some left. Let's just have breakfast and have a good lunch. Then we'll go back." Baya let Gu Lingqing do the cleaning when she was doing breakfast. She went to find some wood and branches. She sharpened the top of the branches and washed them with water. The sun rose. She put down her work and walked to the side. The sky was red at first. The sun shone through the clouds. White light could be seen clearly. It seemed to be very close. All of a sudden, the sun seemed to jump out of the clouds. A rainbow really did appear above the forest, and the mist rose. "Nature is amazing." Baya sighed. Gu Lingqing looked at her and held her hand. "From now on, we'll be together every day. We'll watch the sunrise together. We'll make breakfast together. We'll have lunch together. We'll have dinner together. We'll take a walk together and sleep together. We'll grow old slowly." It was supposed to be very simple, but when it came out of Gu Lingqing's mouth, she felt very warm and happy. After watching the sunrise, Baya looked at Gu Lingqing. He looked at her as well and smiled slightly. I want to drink fish soup at noon and then skewer the chicken. I think the grilled fish yesterday was delicious.
Can I make that?
Gu Lingqing asked. Of course. They brought a lot of water. It was enough to make a meal. After dinner, Bai Ya and Gu Lingqing were resting in the tent. Gu Lingqing, there's one more thing in my heart, Bai Ya said softly.
What?
Gu Lingqing turned around and looked at her. I want to see Lu Shuang, but I'm afraid to see her. It feels like I owe her something, but I can't remember what it is. Do you know what I owe her? Bai Ya asked softly. Gu Lingqing nodded.
Why?
Bai Ya asked. Lu Shuang and Shen Yan are a couple. Do you remember that? Gu Lingqing asked. Bai Ya shook her head. She seemed to have forgotten 80% of the things in the past. Didn't Lu Shuang not like Shen Yan? Then he liked Shen Yan. You helped him get rid of Sheng Dongcheng and Zhuo Chuani. Shen Yan could have been the president, but because of Lu Shuang, he failed. Buhua became the president. You told Buhua to let Shen Yan go after a year and let him reunite with Lu Shuang, Gu Lingqing explained.
Has Shen Yan been let go?
Bai Ya asked curiously.
No. Is it because it hasn't been a year?
Gu Lingqing was silent and didn't say anything. Bai Ya looked at Gu Lingqing. It's been more than a year. It's just that he hasn't been let go for some reason. If he hasn't been let go for a year, then he won't be let go in the future. Buhua was worried that Shen Yan would cause a bloodbath if he went out. Plus you weren't here so. Bai Ya closed her eyes. Actually, she knew that politics was just that cruel. There was an idiom about enduring hardships. After King Go-Jian was captured by King Wu, he lay on a haystack and suffered. He told himself that his life was tough and that he had to be patient and not forget about his current life. He was King Wu's groom and kept a low profile. He didn't resist at all. After King Wu let him go, he destroyed Wu country. Hence, he didn't let go because he was afraid. The more he was afraid, the more he was afraid. The future was always unpredictable. Gu Lingqing, let's go back, Bai Ya said.
Ha! Now.
It's still early. We can rest for a while after we wake up, Gu Lingqing said. Bai Ya sat up and looked at Gu Lingqing. I'm not talking about going back to America. I'm talking about going back to country A. Gu Lingqing looked at her deeply and sat up slowly. Have you thought it through? Bai Ya nodded. Do everything you can to improve the military. Even if Shen Yan is released, because of you, the president can still sit on the throne. You hate being involved in politics the most, Gu Lingqing reminded her. People change. They change according to the environment, mentality, situation, and status. I don't know why I hated politics so much. But if Lu Shuang likes Shen Yan, I should be on good terms with Shen Yan. I want to save Shen Yan. You've always wanted to save Shen Yan. Bai Ya held Gu Lingqing's hand. You're a soldier. You have your duty to protect the country. The blood of a soldier flows in your veins. It's because you gave up what you love. Because you're my favorite, Gu Lingqing said in a low voice, looking at her with a burning gaze. She believed that his eyes were sincere, deep, and calm. Faintly, there was a hint of sadness and caution. She must have hurt him badly. I still have my child in country A. I don't know why I gave up everything and left. But now, I can't let go of my child. So I want to go back to country A, Bai Ya said. When do you want to go back? I want to finish all the cases on hand. Otherwise, it's not suitable for them to follow me to country A. My senior will come back to America in a few days to help me manage the clinic. Can you help with Cheong's contract? Bai Ya asked. It's fine as long as I don't withdraw my investment. Cheong will give me face, Gu Lingqing said with certainty.
Well, then there's no problem.
Bai Ya lay down. Gu Lingqing lay down too and used his arm as a pillow for her. Bai Ya turned over, put her hand on his waist, and closed her eyes. People were strange. When she had nothing in her heart, she would be very calm, and her life would be dull and carefree. All she could do was smile and watch the leaves fall in the courtyard. She wanted to empty herself, not think about anything, live a simple life, and avoid loneliness. She wanted to be strong enough that she didn't need anyone's company. But there was always a place in her heart that was very empty. Sometimes, she felt inexplicably melancholic. When she had Gu Lingqing in her heart, she knew that there would be a lot of trouble and tiredness in the future. But she still wanted to give it a try. There was no next life, but she would not let down this life. She just hoped that there was nothing in her past that she couldn't bear. Chapter 791. They went back at 3 in the afternoon. When they reached home, it was already 7:30. After returning home, Baya cooked and cleaned the house. Gu Lingqing went back to see Little White and fed him. Little White barked in hunger. Gu Lingqing patted Little White's head. His eyes were filled with pity. "I'll bring you wherever I go in the future." "Woof woof." Little White barked. "Let's go to your real owner's house." Gu Lingqing placed the dog cage in the car and brought the dog with him. He drove to Baya's house. Baya was still cleaning the house. Gu Lingqing placed the kennel in the backyard and helped Baya water the flowers. Baya stood beside him and looked at the flowers that she had taken care of. "They are the ones that I can't bear to leave. You can let your seniors live in the house. Firstly, they can help you open the house. Secondly, they can help you take care of the flowers and plants," Gu Lingqing suggested. "Good idea," Baya replied. "Come over for dinner later. We'll have egg fried rice tonight," Baya said and turned around. Woof woof. Little White saw Baya and barked at Baya. Baya saw Little White and was surprised. "You brought him here." Baya squatted down. Little White ran towards her and came to her hand. Baya scratched Little White's chin. Little White squinted his eyes comfortably. Baya was happy too. She smiled and stood up. "I'll go back to cook first." Gu Lingqing nodded. She went in and made a simple egg fried rice. She put diced chicken and eggs, shredded potatoes and green peppers. At night, Gu Lingqing stayed at Baya's house. They went to bed early as they were tired from the journey. The next morning, Baya woke up at 6 and realized that Gu Lingqing was no longer by her side. She woke up early, but Gu Lingqing was even earlier than her. She opened the window and saw Gu Lingqing practicing boxing in the backyard. She smiled. After brushing her teeth and washing up, she changed into casual sportswear and ran to him in the backyard. When a martial artist was training, even the person closest to him shouldn't stand behind him. It was muscle memory, and he might be accidentally injured. She had to stand in front of him and learn from his moves. And learn from him. Gu Lingqing looked at her well-behaved manner and raised a faint smile. His movements were firm, and his eyes were gentle. He made a move and stopped. Baya imitated his moves and stopped moving. Gu Lingqing held her hand and corrected her posture. The temperature of his palms was very high. Due to long-term training in martial arts and holding a gun, his palms had calluses. When he held her hand, she could feel the roughness. But it was precisely this kind of man that made people feel very safe and warm in their hearts. She was a smart person and had a strong ability to understand. She could do it right after he taught her once. Gu Lingqing touched her nose and said lovingly, "Smart." "Continue," Baya said and continued to learn. It has been 2 hours since a set of Wing Chun boxing was finished. Baya was sweating. "I'm going to take a shower first. I'll come back tonight and continue." "Okay." Gu Lingqing nodded. As soon as she walked into the living room, she heard her phone ringing. She picked up her phone and found that Shun had called her 3 times. She was practicing martial arts in the backyard, so she didn't hear it. She answered the phone. "Baya, can you come to the police station in the morning?" Shen asked. "I have a patient at 9 o'clock, so I have to arrive at 10:30. You'd better remember my schedule in the future." Baya reminded him. "We found a very important piece of information, but we can't be sure if it's the murderer." Shen explained. "You don't have to call me so early if it's something important or urgent. I won't change my schedule unless it's urgent. Do you understand? See you at 10:30, Baya said and hung up. She looked at the time. It was already 8:25. She had to take a shower quickly and buy some bread on the way to the clinic. Otherwise, she would be late. She walked into the bathroom, took a shower, and saw the steamed buns on the table. She was surprised. "Where did you buy this?" "There are also shops opened by people from country A," Gu Lingqing explained. "You can have a simple meal. It will only take 10 minutes for me to take you to the clinic. You still have 10 minutes for breakfast. You won't be late. Did you buy it nearby? Why didn't I find such a shop? Baya said in surprise. She went to the kitchen and poured some vinegar. No, it's a little far. It takes about 20 minutes to get there.
So,
Baya was even more curious.
You went there by rocket.
Gu Lingqing was amused by her. I bought it at 5:30 and left it on the table. You woke up late, so I didn't wake you. When you went to take a shower just now, you found it cold, so I went to heat it up. Baya understood. She was in a hurry to practice martial arts with him, so she didn't notice the steamed buns and tofu pudding on the table. She answered the phone just now and was in a hurry to take a shower, so she still didn't see the steamed buns. Previously, when she was researching the brain's heaviness, she discovered that when one's attention was focused on one place, everything else around them would be ignored. Everything would be frozen on the computer screen like a photo, but the only thing that could be remembered was what they saw when they were focused on it at that time. At this time, hypnosis is to let the subconscious enter the frozen image. The information may be vague, but it can find some images that we can't remember. So, she was like this just now. There were steamed buns in her sight, but because she was focused on other things, the steamed buns were ignored. She quickly finished her breakfast, and Gu Lingqing sent her to the clinic. In the future, when we wake up in the morning, the first thing we do is eat breakfast. Otherwise, eating too fast is not good for the stomach, Gu Lingqing said. Yes, it takes 28 days to form a habit. When I go back, I need to make a new plan. I want to practice martial arts, and I want to continue taking care of flowers and plants. I'll go to your military base and be in charge of psychology. I'll take care of our child. That's good. Gu Lingqing didn't reply, but his gaze softened. This kind of date was indeed good, and it was the life of his dreams. After a while, Baya arrived at the clinic. It was 2 minutes to 9, and the little boy was already there. Baya smiled at him. Come with me. The little boy locked his eyes with Baya and went to the treatment room. Baya poured him a glass of water and sat opposite him. Have you seen that man recently? The little boy shook his head. Ever since I chatted with you, I'm not afraid of him anymore, but he doesn't appear anymore. I don't think I'll see him again, right? Not necessarily. When your willpower is not strong enough, he'll come out. But when he comes out, you don't have to be afraid. Try your best to stare at him. Look at the illogical parts of him, and you'll know that this person is actually vulnerable. You can make him disappear with just your mind. He's fake, and he doesn't have any strength, Baya said with a smile. Chapter 792. If it's possible, I would like to do an abnormal treatment for you. I would enter your subconscious so that you would be awake the entire time, Baya suggested. The boy was a little afraid. If he comes out, he might do something to hurt you. Baya smiled. This person is a figment of your imagination. You can defeat him, and you can protect me. I believe in you. The boy nodded. He nervously drank all the alcohol in the glass. Baya poured him another glass of water and mixed the medicine. She passed it to him. Drink it all in one gulp. The boy listened and drank it all. He looked at Baya worriedly. Baya sat opposite him, tapping her fingers on the table and looking at him quietly. The boy ate the medicine and was a little sleepy. He closed his eyes.
Galen, tell me, what do you see?
Baya guided him. A house, a 2-story building. It's really scary and desolate. There's a dead tree at the door with a crow on it. There are dark clouds above the house. It's so dark that it looks like it's going to press down, Galen said. Open the door and see what's inside? Baya said. Galen's entire body was trembling. Baya held his hand. Don't be afraid, I will be here. No one will hurt you. Galen calmed down. Baya didn't let go. What do you see? It's dark, really dark. I can't see anything. I can't see anything.
Close your eyes and look with your heart.
I see that woman. She's lying on the bed. She asked me to wear her dress. I want to kill her. Galen said viciously.
He opened his eyes and looked at Baya with a murderous aura. He hollered. What do you want?
You want to kill me. Baya was shocked. She let go and looked at Galen suspiciously. Her eyes met his fierce gaze. It's not that I'm going to kill you. You're the one who's going to harm him again. If you show up again, he'll be done for. After that, don't come here to see me. Go to the prison, Baya said. As long as you don't harm us, nothing will happen to us. Women are all despicable things that say one thing and mean another. I'm going to kill you. Garen charged forward. Although he was only 14 years old, his body was as strong as an adult man. Baya was no match for him at all. Baya smiled. Can you kill him? Look at where you are. This is heaven. All sins will be destroyed. Don't harm Garen. Hurry up and leave. In the future he can still go to heaven. If you stay by his side, you will only drag him to hell. Those who have done such things will all be in hell. Your stepmother. What nonsense are you spouting? This is not heaven. This is clearly your office, and you still want to lie to me? Galen said angrily. Galen, you've never trusted me. You've been defensive. You were afraid that I would find out that you killed your stepmother, Baya said straightforwardly. So, everyone who finds out will die, including you. If I die, do you think you can escape? If I die, you will be arrested because you killed me. Not only will you not live, but you will also live in fear before you die. The only one who can save you now is me, Baya said, staring at him sharply. I don't believe you. My treatment process here is recorded. Baya opened the pinhole camera installed on the sofa. Your every move has been recorded and uploaded. If you kill me, everyone will know that you did it. You won't be able to escape. However, as long as you leave Garen, he will be safe. Garen stared at Baya. Baya looked back at him calmly. I still don't believe you. You should believe me. After all, after I found out that you were a murderer, I didn't abandon you. Instead, I stayed here with you and helped you. If I wanted to harm you, you would be finished if you left now. Right, Galen? Baya said. Galen's gaze loosened a little. Galen, if you can't defeat evil, you can only be destroyed. The evil now isn't protecting you, but harming you. Galen stared at Baya. Think about it. Without evil, you can live like a normal child. With evil, you will soon become a prisoner, Baya guided. Galen looked at Baya in a daze. His eyes flickered intensely. You know what you should do. Do you see? This evil person is actually your evil thoughts. He is harming you and devouring you, Baya said. She watched as Galen fainted and lay on the sofa. She stared at Galen and said, When you hear the clapping, you can wake up. She clapped her hands. Galen opened his eyes and looked at Baya in a daze. Was that person me? What did you do to your stepmother? No. Tell me the truth. I'm helping you, Baya asked. My stepmother abused me. She made me wear a red dress and then let her play with me on the bed. My father came back and killed her in anger, Galen said. You lied about the confession. Who was the other male victim? It was my stepmother's lover. They played with me. I was very scared. My father told me not to say, Galen said sadly. Baya understood. Many cases showed that many victims would become abusers. This was a form of emotional release. Galen knew that it wasn't good, so he split into a violent personality. He hated women, especially women who wanted to have sex with him. In the future you will get better. You will know that the person is you. But you have to control it. You can't let it come out again. He will destroy you. If he didn't destroy you, you wouldn't have come here. Right, Galen? Baya said gently. Galen nodded. If you feel bored, go out and play basketball. Do what you like. You will achieve your goals. That is the right way to go and you will find happiness. Can I come again next week? Galen asked in anticipation. My fees aren't low. Your mother found me to cure you. From this, you can see that she really loves you. Do you really want to hurt someone who loves you? You don't have to come here anymore. I will wait for you to grow up and become an outstanding person, Baya said with a smile. Galen was a little disappointed. Baya patted his shoulder. Hi boy. You have to become someone that others look up to and not look up to. Good luck. Galen nodded and became high-spirited. Good luck. Baya opened the door to send Galen off. She saw that Gu Lingqing was actually there. Did he not leave after sending her here? She smiled. She walked towards Gu Lingqing. You didn't leave? He replied in a low voice. Chapter 793. Gu Lingqing, Baya shouted. Yeah, Gu Lingqing replied. Baya smiled. I'll call Qiong now. Gu Lingqing looked at the time on his phone. That's good too. This way we can eat with more peace of mind. Baya contacted Qiong and went to the police station. Shen called the others over and sent them the information. We found it. These girls went to XX Road together. This road leads to a remote beach. There's a large gap between the surveillance cameras on the road. AI Wei tracked the car of the last girl and realized that she passed some distance away from the person with the license plate number XXX01. We checked the car and found that the license plate was used. Hence, we suspect that there's something wrong with that person. That person is very cautious and is very familiar with XX Road. He knows where there are surveillance cameras and where there aren't. The girls he targeted have a few things in common. 1. They're all young. 2. They're all very pretty. 3. They don't have many friends. 4. They're materialistic. 5. They're rebellious. 6. They're too ambitious, Baya analyzed. So Baya, what do you think we should do next? Shen asked. Since we know which road he's been on, it'll be easy. We can find a pretty girl to lure the criminal, Howard suggested. Rue looked at Baya. You're the only girl here. I don't agree, Gu Lingqing objected. It was too dangerous. He didn't want Baya to commit such a crime. I don't fit the type of target that the murderer would choose. I don't fit the criteria. You can find one in the police station. I've told you the conditions, Baya said rationally. All right, I'll look for one first. Then, I'll lure the murderer. After that, we'll need your help, Baya. Maybe it'll be during your working hours, Shen said. Baya nodded. She had already treated all the patients in her clinic. She wouldn't be accepting any patients anymore. There should be time in the future. She would also leave after helping Qiong with the cases on hand. It was only 11 p.m. when they left the police station. Where are we going to eat? Asked Baya. I remember you have a seafood restaurant. It tastes good. I have taken my friends there several times. They have become regulars there. Gu Lingqing said, holding Baya's hand. After I leave, I still can't bear to part with this shop. When the time comes, I'll leave it to my senior to manage. If you like seafood, we can open a few after we go back. I'll find someone to take care of it. You can eat whatever you want. Just ask them to fly the freshest seafood over. I can still do that. Baya smiled. In fact, she liked Seattle very much. She liked life and environment, and it was easier for her to get along with people. However, she still had her duty to do, and Gu Lingqing also had his duty to do. Perhaps, after they retired, they could continue to live in Seattle. Baya and Gu Lingqing went to the seafood restaurant. The waiter came up to them enthusiastically. What would you like to eat today? Baya looked at Gu Lingqing. 2 king crabs with cheese paella, Gu Lingqing said. Baya nodded and gestured for the waiter to prepare. Even though it was noon, there were still many customers in the restaurant. There were 6 tables. At night, there would be a lot more customers than now. Baya chose a table by the window and sat down. There was beautiful and light music playing in the restaurant. Coupled with the sound of the wind, the waves and the seabirds, it felt quite good. It really felt like a restaurant by the sea. Do you know a girl called Ellie? She was a black man and used to be a secret agent. You should know her, right? She used to be in Team 11, Baya asked. Yes, Qiong reported it to me, Gu Lingqing said. Later, she found someone to kidnap me. Do you know about this? Baya asked again. Yes, Qiong will report to me as long as it's related to you, Gu Lingqing said calmly. Later, I saw her fighting with a man in front of my house. In the end, I think she was taken away by the man. Do you know about this? Baya asked again. Yes, that man is Zhang Xingyu. He's my man. He's in charge of protecting you. Baya suddenly understood. No wonder he appeared in time when she was almost raped in the parking lot. It turned out that he was protecting her in the dark.
Where is Ellie now?
Baya asked in confusion. I remember you once said that people should be responsible for their own actions and pay the corresponding consequences. I didn't protect her and left her to fend for herself. She offended a few big bosses. I don't know what happened after that, but I can be sure that she can't hurt you now, Gu Lingqing said in a deep voice. His eyes were very deep, as if there was something hidden in them. Baya was inexplicably flustered and didn't ask further. I was wondering why she didn't come to me for revenge. Both of them didn't speak. The atmosphere was a little strange and awkward. I was wondering why she didn't come to me for revenge. Baya drank a mouthful of water. Both of them didn't speak, which made her feel uncomfortable. She found a topic and said, How many years have you practiced Kung Fu? I practiced when I was young. Have you practiced Tai Chi? When I saw the young Zhang Sanfeng, I felt that it was a very powerful Kung Fu. I saw a lot of old men practicing it in the park. No. Maybe, I'll practice it when I'm older, Gu Lingqing said simply. Why do you have to wait until you're older to practice? Can't you practice it now? Baya was curious. When he said that, she seemed to see that most of the people who practiced Tai Chi were old men, and there were fewer young people. Tai Chi pays attention to too many things. It's different from other Kung Fu practices. It's a combination of hardness and softness, and it can't be achieved in 1 or 2 years. Moreover, it requires talent. Some people without talent practice for 20 years, but it's useless. In the army, they will practice on strength and speed. It's more intuitive. As long as they work hard, they can achieve better results, Gu Lingqing explained patiently. Baya nodded. I think I understand. Maybe I can practice it. If you want to practice, I know a master. His Tai Chi has reached the peak of perfection. Moreover, his meridian massage is also unparalleled. It's all about the internal meridian. The effect is very obvious, and it has something to do with medical students. I'll introduce him to you when I get back. He doesn't come out easily. You speak as if he's an immortal in the mountains. He pays attention to people and nature. I also met him when I was on a mission a long time ago, Gu Lingqing explained. While they were chatting, the king crab was ready. The waiter served several kinds of seasonings. The seasonings Baya used were very special, so there were a lot of repeat customers. Moreover, he was considerate enough to send 2 pairs of scissors. Baya went to pry open the pliers. Because it had just come out of the pot, it was still a little hot. She touched the pliers and retracted her hand. Gu Lingqing had already cut the meat off the leg and placed it on her plate. You're tuning in to the Xiaofan's Wuxia Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.